Turn it on.
Well, well, well. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day number 4 of the 69th annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. We are here this morning on a rainy Saturday morning. Do not let that damper your spirits, everyone. It is going to be better weather, we think, today after this rain goes through. We are hoping that the rain goes through here in the next hour or so and then clears up for a while. Hopefully, we have good weather for the parade here today. We will be covering the Grand Parade on our radio station's Facebook and YouTube live feeds. I'm Andrew Miller, and we're very excited to be here for day number 4 of a great festival so far, and we hope to continue the excitement throughout Saturday and even into Sunday. A lot of things going on here this morning. Obviously, I'm here about an hour before anything is getting going here today, but at 9 o'clock in the morning, they're going to go ahead and get started setting up for the Grand Parade. So hopefully the weather comes through before they start lining up all of the floats and the bands and the entries into the parade. Here in about an hour, a lot of things are going to open up once again at 9 a.m. at the Armory. They'll open the craft show and also the David Davis one-room school pictures at the Heritage Park building. They'll open the quilt and flower show. And again, a flea market across from Spencer Middle School on Front Street. If you want to get to that, well, you can drive down there and try to find parking, or you can park at the Spencer Middle School lot and then take the footbridge across to the Front Street area for the flea market. The art and photography show and the ag and 4-H exhibits are going on at Spencer Middle School at 9 o'clock. We're going to have live music here in just a couple of hours. It'll be Smith and Wilson taking the stage here on Church Street from 10 to noon, leading us up to the Grand Parade. Also, one-room schoolhouse tours. We talked with Coach John Gray and Dennis Carpenter yesterday about what they're doing down there with the Retired School Employees Association. So they're open from 10 to noon. They'll open again from 2 to 4 for tours for the schoolhouse. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. here at the Courthouse Square. Euro Bungee is going on. The kids have absolutely loved that. Well, the little kids and big kids, I got a couple of big kids here I'm getting ready to talk to pretty soon. I wondered if they did the Euro Bungee as well. The information booth right beside us and merchandise tent will be open at 10 a.m. again today. The glass blower will be at the Courthouse Square as well. I hope you guys got a chance to take a look at those specialized wine glasses with Black Walnut Festival on them for this year. The Mason-Dixon boys are over at the Armory at 10 a.m. carving up some wood and putting it into artistic nature. The Legacy Foods Market will be open at Heritage Park. Now, they don't have the ox roast that we're so used to on these Saturdays. We do apologize for that. Hopefully next year he'll be back with ox roast for this. Obviously, the big draw here today, other than the 11 a.m. food court opening, is the parade. The Grand Parade is set to begin at noon, and again, we're watching the weather, and hopefully the weather will cooperate with us for this festival as it has throughout the previous 3 days, and we'll have good weather for the Grand Parade. The Dinah Roar Show going again today, 1, 3, and 5 p.m. right beside us on Court Street, and the Train Depot Museum will be open at 2 o'clock for viewing. That'll be open from 2 to 5. Live music will continue after the Walnut Festival Grand Parade at 2 o'clock. It'll be Jack and Davis Reed, a funny group and a good group of musicians, will take the stage at 2 o'clock. They'll play until 4. At 3:15 p.m., following the Grand Parade and weather permitting, they're going to have the band and majorette competition. That will be held out at Roane County High School's County Stadium. And then, of course, the 4-H and FFA livestock sale. We will be live on our YouTube and Facebook pages for that. Also, music into the evening, as well as Jeremy Short's band will take the stage 4:30 to 6:30, and they'll close it out from 7 to 9 with the band Zona Hester. Want to thank our sponsors for this half-hour content, and that is Old Fences Realty. Man, oh man, you guys ever not help me with stuff. Do you guys ever not supply me with sponsorships and fun?
Hey, we love you, Drew. We love to support the station. And, we're going to continue that just as long as we possibly can.
Well, I was worried when I got here, and it was kind of dark, and it was really dreary, and the rain is still coming down. I was like, I wonder if I'm even going to get the people who signed up. And here comes Mike and Joellen Greenlee, Jordan Spears, and she's got.
They can tell a quarter mile away who I am. But anyway, the biggest thing that they're asking about, of course, is interest rates. Interest rates have went up. Everybody knows that. That's no secret. But whenever I started in this business, it was 15%. Hey,
We'll take what we got
we talk
now.
about challenging. Now that was challenging. So now we're hovering around 8, which really is not that bad whenever you start looking at the numbers and everything. But the important part of that is you have to be more cognizant of what's going on with your credit. There are still some great programs out there with the banks. There's some banks that still have 0 down if you have like a 700 credit score. Well, a 700 credit score it's a good credit score, but if you take care of your credit, it's going to take care of you.
Yes.
And I recommend to every one of my people that I come in contact with to go on to Credit Sesame. And I'll say that again here in a little bit so you can write this down. Because Credit Sesame, what it does is there's 3 repositories in the United States that take care of your credit. And it is owned by one of those repositories. You can get online to their site anytime, 24/7, and you can go on there and you can see what your credit score is. But more importantly, what they have on your credit score. So, if there's something derogatory on there that's not yours, which happens all the time, then you can go in there and address that.
Yes.
They have literally thousands of different types of articles in there to teach you about anything financial. They'll talk about 401ks, they'll talk about anything financial, and they'll teach you how to repair your credit. Now, a person goes crazy and buys a billion things on their credit card and not pays them off. Hey,
there are
they
some
can't
limitations.
Fix that. You have to go and rectify those problems in which you've created for yourself. And some people,
yeah, don't be buying too many trucks, dude.
Yeah. It happens. It happens.
So Credit Sesame, you can get on there and you can find the information you need about your credit score and why it may be having some troubles or why it may be good. And if it is good, then you're probably good to go and you can go do some of this stuff.
And then of course you want to call myself or Jordan or Taylor, and they can go over and make sure that every other thing that has to be in place will be there. These girls are experts. We have trained, had all these guest speakers in from everywhere to come in and train these girls and teach them how to get somebody a home.
Well, you brought Jordan Spears with you. Of course, Mike, you are the broker of Old Fences Realty, or you are the realtor, the broker, whatever you want to call that.
The broker.
The broker. Jordan Spears, we got a chance to speak with you last year at this time. Mm-hmm. You were pretty new to this gig last year at this time. And as Mike said, you have got quite the learning experience in just a short amount of time with them. How do you feel this year? And again, there are challenges that you guys have faced in this first couple of years of you doing this, but I think you've become quite successful at it. Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of it was being able to follow Mike around and be his little shadow. And then Taylor as well. Just everybody in the office having that support system has really helped me quickly kind of get a grasp on things. So.
Well, you guys do have a very well-oiled operation there. I'm there all the time. In fact, probably more than I should be hanging out. But you've got the office manager, and then you've got your wife, Joellen, who never comes on when we're doing this thing for some reason. I don't know why. She talks to me all the time, other than when we go live on something. Anyways, though, she is very supportive here, though. I will say that. So you got some very good people in the office, and then you've got a couple of young ladies who are really hardworking and I think quite motivated individuals. How Are you just lucky sometimes to find people like that?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely lucky here in this case, because it is difficult to find someone who is willing to put the time in. And I tell them, whenever you start in this business, it's 24/7. It's all the time. And Jordan, she's in the office or out there showing properties or looking at properties, 12, 15 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
A day. And people don't see that, whenever they list a piece of property, they see us come and show properties, and that they don't see what goes on behind, the veil.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
To speak. Yes.
Well, again, it's pride in your work, number one, pride in your business that you work for, but it's also, if you want to sell a property, or if you want to sell something, I mean, you got to grind to do it right now. It is a feast or famine type of market right now, and you have feasted quite well so far.
Yes, it's their training and learning how to make people understand that they can buy a piece of property in this challenging environment. And I don't really see that as being that challenging. We're just going just as hard as we can. That's like day before yesterday we sold a piece of property for $20,000 more over asking price. I mean, that's crazy. You wouldn't think that, and people really raise their eyebrows whenever they hear that number.
Yeah.
They're like, what? In this environment, they don't really understand that there's still people out there, buyers, that can afford to buy, and there's a lot of cash still in the market out there.
And that's something that people don't really think about. They just think about some of the challenges. They don't think about the opportunities that are involved with that. Also, when you talk about somebody who's trying to sell a property as well, they can come to you guys, and they've got some peace of mind in knowing that you guys are going to do the best job that you can to get that property sold for them, whether it be a house, or I know you deal a lot with farmland, you deal a lot with hunting areas. You guys are constantly headed up to the hunting and fishing show in Charleston. We're talking with Mike Greenlee of Old Fences Realty. I love that you are involved in that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, we love that stuff. That's great. Of course, for me, it's like, oh yeah, I get to take my Jeep out in the country or my side by side out through the woods.
He just likes to play, doesn't
he? Yeah, fly the drone around. That's flying the drone around is a lot of people. Oh, that's gotta be fun. I've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah,
it's just part of my bag of tricks now.
Well, you talk about this in one of your advertisements. You talk about I will market your property better than anybody that you can find out, because you do have those opportunities. You can get places that some people might not be able to get, and if you can't get to them, even you've got drone coverage. You've got really good videos on your websites. I really like that you guys you go that extra mile to share the property and the way it can be best shown, because that's not easy sometimes.
We had a customer there the other day, and I'm going to tell one on Jordan.
Oh, goodness.
That they came out and they take a look at the house, and they're like, I hate it.
Just flat out?
Just flat out.
I mean, the second we walked through the door.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
What do you do in a moment like that?
But tell the story.
Well, she walked in, and she was just like, I could see it on her face, and I was like, oh, no.
This is not going to be a good showing.
And she said, honestly, I hate it. She said, but you took really good pictures, though.
Well done. Yeah. You did a good job with that. Well, you never know. Again, you show the best side of the stuff that you can. But again, it's a labor of love for you guys. And again, it is a full-time job. I've been around you guys I say outside the work environment, there's no such thing with Mike Greenlee. I promise you that. I've been hanging out at 9, 10, 11 p.m., and all of a sudden, here comes the phone calls. And I love his ringtone, by the way. Every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, let's get funky, all right? But I've also been around Taylor, and I've been around Jordan outside of, like, what you would consider to be a normal work environment, and here comes the phone calls, and off they go for 20, 30 minutes, and they are working.
That it does not stop. It doesn't. And people that when they're around us, our friends, all that kind of stuff, they expect it. They know that I'm going to disappear for a little bit every night.
Yeah, it's just going to happen.
It's just going to happen.
I got used to it by this point.
Yeah, if I'm on vacation.
The minute Mike's phone rings, they're like, "This is Mike. How may I help you?"
Yeah, and it doesn't matter with the technology that we have today. If I go on a trip somewhere or whatever, vacation, most of the time people have no idea unless they're following me on Facebook.
Yeah.
They have no idea where I'm at because I am still answering the phone. Joanne took a picture of me one time. This has been a while back. I bought one of those phones that they showed Little Wayne with some champagne pouring over the showing it's being waterproof, So I bought one of those phones. I said, I need that, So I bought that
just
phone.
in case you encounter that
Yeah.
let's do some champagne popping.
Right, yeah. No, I was out on the beach, and I was out waist deep in the water out there.
I do
Talking-
remember this.
Talking to a customer out there, and the guy says, we got done with the business part of it. He said, what's all that noise? I hear all this noise in the background. I said, that's the waves. I'm in the water out here on the beach. He's like, what? I said, yeah. So I snapped a picture and sent it to him. Oh my God, you are.
Now, how many calls did he take in the North Atlantic Sea? That's what I want to know. A bunch of
Oh,
folks.
yeah. And that's challenging too. But things have, if you've ever taken a cruise before, it used to be very, very difficult. But now they have Starlink
Yes.
on it, and that's been a game changer. Now I can't make a regular telephone call, but I call through Facebook, through WhatsApp, through all these different things. And these girls, they take care of me whenever I go somewhere.
Yeah.
They are doing what they need, and they know that they can get in touch with me in an instant.
Yeah.
It's just no big deal, and it's made our lives a lot better. And these girls have definitely been a game changer for us because I know that I can depend on them, and they're gonna give my customer support, to everybody.
We're talking with Mike Greenlee and Jordan Spears, and we're wondering if Taylor May is going to be around sometime this morning. You never know where that young lady is. She may be working right now. Who knows?
I would say pretty well that's what's going on.
With Old Fences Realty. And Jordan, let's talk about that. Mike's been in this business for quite a while. They've been running this
Almost
business.
2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks he's been working. He's such a fresh new business here in town. No one would really know his face if not for no, I tell you, he's been doing this for a while, and it does provide them a lot of peace of mind when they know they've got hard workers with them. And the reason that you want to do this is because this is something that's passion for you. I know when I talked to you when you first started doing this, you said, I don't really want to do any of that other stuff. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go into this. I don't want to go to this school. I just want to get to work and do stuff.
Yeah.
And this is something that you got a passion for very quickly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I really enjoy it. It keeps me out and busy instead of I'm not always behind a desk, and I love that. And it's really competitive too, with the market and stuff. And I enjoy it.
Well, there is part of this that is marketing. And you guys just did some good stuff yesterday. We were talking when you came over here, Jordan, about the Kids Day Parade and the float that you helped put together.
Yeah.
That's part of it with Old Fences Realty. If you don't, I swear, Mike, if people don't know the Old Fences Realty logo, then they're blind and they haven't seen it. Because, as you said, you market your all's business. You market yourself. And you have to do that. You have to be a good marketer to make sure that people know your brand. And that's something that you have done for a long time and done quite well. And you're unapologetic in it. And you're not afraid to make fun of things, of yourself. You're not afraid to do whatever it takes to market. It's really hilarious.
Well,
Even getting a dog,
Even
which I begged for.
She did. Oh my gosh, she was relentless. She wanted to have an office dog just like Dixie. And Dixie was famous. Everybody knew Dixie. So oh my gosh, it was on and on and on. But, we are, and people kind of laugh, but we are a marketing company that just happens to market real estate. That's the way I see my company.
When you
is we
said
are
that to
marketing.
me before, I just remember that when you said we're a marketing company and we market real estate is what we do.
Yeah.
And you do it quite well because you have all these opportunities. The way you guys do it, you're involved with all of these online sites. You're involved. Talk about some of the stuff that you guys are able to do to push out the information that you have.
So technology-wise, and we're very proud of this. We're very proud of this. Technology-wise, we'll go up against any real estate company in the United States. Not here. People, real estate agents come and we speak to each other, and we go to these different conferences and conventions and that sort of thing to keep on the cutting edge. And I'll tell them what I do in little backwoods West Virginia, so to speak, and they are, no, really? We don't have that. We've got 2,000 agents. We don't have that. And that's what we want to maintain is that superiority with the technology. I've been a computer geek my whole life, so it's not really a hard thing for me to jump into. Yeah.
Well, not just a computer geek. He's been I don't know what you call the Coast Guard guys, but you're a veteran, and I wanted to mention that. We've got one of these really cool things here. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the replica Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Oh, I've been to the real one.
Yes. This is small potatoes for you. But I thought that was a really cool thing that they've done here to bring it to here. And you got your sea legs about you recently again.
Yes.
I wanted to mention that stuff because although it's something that you may not mention when you talk about it, it's something to be proud of. Service in whatever branch of the military that you choose. That's something that I think you're very proud of, and you should be very proud of.
And it's kind of a humbling thing, because you meet in our line of work. We meet veterans all the time, and I actually am on I'm one of the committee members for West Virginia's section of the Veterans Agriculture, and we meet in Charleston, and they have things for veterans all the time. The homegrown by heroes. Forgive me, I'm stumbling over that, but it is a wonderful organization, and there's lots of things for veterans as well, like for my high tunnel in behind my yard, which I love.
Yes, I've seen a few pictures of your smiles when you're back there working with that.
We got a $2,500 grant from the Department of Agriculture to help us with that operation right there through the veterans. The Commissioner of Agriculture for the state of West Virginia is a veteran. And, of course, he has a soft spot in his heart for that.
Yeah.
So, I was in the U.S. Coast Guard. I was a sonar technician for them. Served in a lot of places, moved around a lot. The Bering Sea, we'd go there in the winter time, believe it or not. World's deadliest catch was nothing for us. Central America, South America, wherever we need to go. I was on an icebreaker for a while even. So, yeah, I went around it.
Yeah. I tell you, sometimes people don't even know what people do as business people, as adults, and what they came from. And I just remember that sonar tech stuff. Like, yeah, you've always been a bit of a tech guy. You've always been interested in the latest technology of things and how you can utilize those. The drone thing. And, again, drones are now very popular. But before they were really popular, you were already flying one around. And, again, that was years and years ago. I remember you showing it to us like, hey, look at this new thing. This is a drone. I don't know what the heck is that. Like, oh, I'm going to fly this around the properties. I was like, well, okay. And here he is doing it 10 years later and doing it quite well. We're talking with Mike Greenlee and Jordan Spears, and not Taylor May. We're going to give her all the grief in the world if she doesn't show up.
That's okay. We're coming back this afternoon, too. So
yes, awesome. We'll have to get her in this afternoon. Let's talk about the Walnut Festival here. You guys are already are all obviously very big sponsors of the Walnut Festival and very big supporters. You love being here. You love interacting with people downtown. What is it about it? Is it just the fact that you guys are heavily involved in this community and you just love the festival itself?
It feels like whenever I am down walking around town here, I'm in the Walnut Festival parade 24/7. People are coming up to me, people I've sold for years and years and years, families I've touched, they all come up to me and talk to me, and I love that. I love, hey, remember this piece of property, blah, blah, blah. Of course, I struggle with that sometimes because I have sold so many pieces of property and I have so much history here that I'm kind of caught off guard sometimes.
Sometimes you don't remember. Did I tell you what?
Yes, yeah. Where was that?
Right now, I bet Jordan does not have that problem yet.
No.
I bet you remember your properties.
I remember pretty much everything, and even like people's names. And whenever I forget, like I forgot one a while back, and I was like, I'm so mad at myself. Because I always was like, how does he forget that stuff? But then after so much of it just piles up, it's like, well, well, I can't really remember that person anymore.
Well, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful Walnut Festival. And again, you guys are going to come back. We're going to talk this afternoon. I want to say congratulations on the parade float yesterday. I hear you guys got some hardware. I thought it was a first-place trophy. I didn't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're still
It's
not
second,
sure. Is it
I
a second?
think.
Jordan is certain.
Hey,
that
she
got
did.
runner-up.
She did all the work. Every now and again, I'd walk by and see it, and I
That was
hooked
the
up
moral
to it.
support.
But she did the work. It was the ladies, their brainchild to do
Well,
it.
what was the brain behind it?
It was her.
What was the idea? Why? What was your spark of excitement for it?
I just wanted to do something, and I was really excited to try to make like a float and be involved in the parade. And we sell farms, so I just thought it would be cool to do a farm-themed float. And
it worked out quite well. It was great. I really enjoyed it while I was up there under my hood trying to see. Well, guys, we appreciate you coming up here so early in the morning. Again, thank you guys, because otherwise it's just me sitting here droning on. Speaking of drones, droning on about the wetness. Although I'm looking, guys, I feel like it's starting to settle a little bit.
I don't see any sprinkles.
Confused with the street light rules.
Is it? All right. Well, I'm just trying to be a positive, and I'm trying to speak it into existence, the good weather that I hope we can get here today. Joellen, she is modeling the good weather that we have. Not even wearing the hoodie. See, I told you all, and it's not even 9 o'clock yet. I should be careful what I say.
yeah.
Well, Mike, Jordan, thank you all for joining us. Joellen, we'll get you on the air at some point in your life. I don't know when. Maybe this afternoon, and maybe we'll talk with Taylor as well.
Drew, we very much appreciate it. We enjoy the service in which you provide our radio family, and I know everybody loves you. So just
thank
keep
you.
doing what you're doing, and take care of yourself. 'Cause, I know you're struggling.
I am going to take care of myself. I promise. I promised my father that I would not go further than my body could take me today. I'm a little bit tired, but that's okay. I feel good, and I'm going to be okay.
Well, I told you. I'm on here. Ha, ha, ha.
Thank you, Joellen.
I told you we weren't going to plug JoJo's Taco, but I have to plug JoJo's Taco.
Well, listen, here's the deal. You're all's businesses.
And the reason I want to plug JoJo's Taco is to thank you.
What did I do?
Because do you remember the Super Bowl party where I came up and tested all my spices?
Everybody out there who loves JoJo's Tacos, you're welcome.
Because
You're welcome.
we took 6 different recipes up to Drew's Super Bowl party. I called him and said, "Do you have food for your party?" He's like, "No, not yet. Am I supposed to have food?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll
That's
bring
kind of how it went, honestly.
I'll bring the food." So we brought 6 different recipes up that we wanted to try in our taco trailer, because we told him we were building a taco trailer and we needed a spice.
Yep.
So I came up with all these recipes, and they're all from scratch. We took one up that was a prepackaged thing that I could have bought, and we did all 6 of them. And out of all those 6, everyone picked.
Yep.
This number 5, wasn't
Number
it?
5.
Has 13 different ingredients in it, but people love it. Everywhere we go, we sell out at every fair we go to. Every Live on the Levee has begged us already to come back next year. Stern Wheel Regatta has begged us to come back. We went to Molasses Festival, sold out every day.
I was over there slamming some nachos. I enjoyed it.
So, yes. So I want to also make a little thank you to the public, our community,
Yes.
for supporting JoJo's Taco. We love it. Hopefully one day we'll be able to set up here. We'll see how it goes.
When I first heard about this, I was like, you're nuts, but it's going to work because I know you guys don't fail. You just could. But thank you for that. We just appreciated bringing us food. That was awesome. We had a bunch of guys up there and a bunch of different taste palettes, and they all ended up with number 5, and it's worked well for you guys. I'm glad.
The only thing
I'll take that commission check pretty soon.
John Bennett told us we needed a little more garlic in our pico, so we fixed that problem, and our pico is a hit. It's like everybody's like, "What's your recipe?" I'm not telling you my recipe.
Yeah. That is famous. And again, that is fresh ingredients that I
Yes.
see that you guys take to give that stuff. Again, you're out of the high tunnel.
Right.
The quality is there, and that's why I think immediately it's a funny looking truck. I love it. It's good stuff. But as soon as you taste the food, you're just like, well, yeah, no wonder they're good at this, because it tastes fantastic. That's why you guys are successful quickly.
And you talk about a go-getter.
Yep,
This little
she's never done.
Jordan helps me with my taco trailer. And it's so funny because if she thinks it's a real estate moment, she has a shirt that says real estate on it. So she'll be flopping tacos and selling real estate. So you and talking on the phone.
I would love to see that picture at one time. A taco, a phone, and a shirt that says it.
Oh, it's crazy. We have a good time though. So.
Well, we're appreciative of that, and we hope you guys continue to have success with the taco truck as well, because it's so much fun to be around. You guys are hilarious when just the interaction that you guys have with people. That's part of it. That's part of it.
Right. And you were talking about our support with the community and the festival. I'm the one that loves the festival.
She is a festival hound, isn't she?
I cannot get enough of it. We're driving Miss Majorette through the festival this year.
Nice.
As we try to almost every year, but once in a while she has her own car. We go out to the livestock barn, support the livestock. We support, I just love this festival. Can't get enough of it.
Well, it brings back memories of years of past and very fond memories of our youth. And even now, I have great memories from just last year. So I love the festival as well. That's why we're down here having a good time with it.
That's right. That's right.
Mike, Joellen Greenlee, Jordan Spears, thank you all so much. That is Mike, Joellen, and Jordan from Old Fences Realty, our sponsor for this half hour of content. We're going to see them again this afternoon at some point. Let me look down the list. Yeah, 2:30 p.m. after the big parade. They're going to come back down here and talk with us a little bit. I'm excited about that.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Folks,
Thanks.
stick around. We're going to be back here with another half-hour sponsor in just a minute. If you have any questions, folks, make sure you like and share and comment on our videos, because commenting will let us know if you have any questions about the weather right now. It's looking pretty good. Hopefully it stays the way it's going and gets better out today. If you have any questions about anything that's going on today, the times, the places, let us know and just comment on our videos, and we'll get the information to you quickly. We're watching the 69th Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. All right, good morning, everyone. We just want to welcome you to the 69th Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. We are in day 4, Saturday morning, and very happy to be here this morning. It was so fun to talk again with Mike Greenlee and Joellen, and, of course, Jordan Spears with the old Fences Realty Company. They're so gracious for us. They're always giving of their time for us during this Walnut Festival, and, of course, they are sponsors of the half hour this morning. They're also going to be back at 2:30 this afternoon. I want to talk about some of the things going on this Saturday morning. And I tell you what, folks, we've been watching the weather, the Doppler radar, for a couple of days now. We thought that this may be the case, that we're going to get some early morning rain, which we did. We were hoping, and it said the last time we looked, that it's going to be out of here by at least 9:30. Right now, it is not raining. It's just overcast. So we're hoping that the rain holds away until like a 3 o'clock or whatever hour, and we can get the parade in without any problems. But a lot going on today. In fact, for the parade, the lineup will begin here in about 3 minutes at the top of the 9 o'clock hour, and that's going to be down at the Handy Mart area and, of course, the COA building all the way wrapped around Washington Park. So if you are someone who's trying to get over there, you might not do it. You might as well just go somewhere else at this point, because they're going to be lining up 12 or 13 or 14 different bands, all the floats, all of the entries into the parade. That is starting right about now. But also at 9 o'clock here, opening up at the Armory, it's the craft show and the David Davis one-room school pictures, the Quilt and Flower show right behind us at Heritage Park. The flea market is going to open up here in just a few seconds down on Front Street. The art and photography show and the Ag 4-H and FFA exhibits are going to be open at Spencer Middle School. In an hour, we're going to start live music already. It's crazy how close it's already coming for live music. Smith and Wilson will take the stage at 10 a.m., and they will play leading up to the 12 o'clock Grand Parade this morning. On top of that, you've got the information booth, the glassblower, the chainsaw artist, the Euro Bungee, all of that starting at 10 a.m. right here on the Courthouse Square. And that, of course, again, the information booth is also where you can get your official Black Walnut Festival merchandise as well. George did confirm yesterday that the oil derrick is running. Now, it will be running here today again at some point. We're not sure what time, but it will be running. Of course, the festival food court is going to be open at 11 a.m. I was just talking to a couple of guys. They're excited about the Saturday. Many people running out of town to get more food to bring back in, because they were almost out again yesterday. A lot of them sold out of items. The carnival is going on at 11 a.m. today. Folks, we have 6 armband tickets to give away this morning, 6 of them. And all you have to do is answer a trivia question right here at our booth. And if you answer correctly, you get yourself an armband ticket that's good for one session, free. And that's a $25 value to the carnival over to our right behind the City Center building. Also going on this afternoon, the Dino Roar show taking place over to our right on Court Street, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. And again, those are your last 3 times, folks, to get a chance to bring your kids down for the Dino Roar show. Today only, 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m. Live music will continue this afternoon after the Grand Parade at 2 o'clock. It's going to be Jack and Davis Reed. They're a funny group of guys, and they're also very talented musicians. They will play from 2 to 4. From 4:30 to 6:30, one of the better bluegrass pickers you'll see in Jeremy Short, or blues pickers, sorry, you'll see in Jeremy Short and the Jeremy Short Band. That's from 4:30 to 6:30. And then we'll close it out with the band Zona Hester from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Don't forget, they have the band and majorette competition going on out at the high school after the parade. That will begin around 3:15 p.m. And don't forget, we will be live down at the 4-H barn at Roane County High School for the first time ever, live coverage of the 4-H and FFA livestock sale. That begins at 6:30 p.m. I'll be down there with Joe McDonald for that, joined by George Allen. And George, you've been doing work already this morning. You brought us a very special guest this morning.
Exactly. We've been talking all week about the Tomb of the Unknown and inviting people to go down and take a look at it. Well, we've brought Bill, who is one of their historians, basically, and he can tell you everything about it.
Yeah, very happy to be joined by you, Bill King, this morning. And Bill,
Appreciate the invitation.
let's first talk about where do you come from? What's your history leading up to being involved with this?
Well, I'm a 23-year vet of both the Navy and the Air Force. And during my time with the Navy, I did some funerals up at Arlington for the Navy with the Navy band. And then I went to the Air Force and was an Air Force band director for many, many years. And what I decided to do was, when I got out of that, join one of the civic clubs in town, and I joined the Exchange Club, who are the ones that own the replica. And I'm one of the founding members for the Tomb Project. Because after you see what happens at Arlington and you go to the tomb and realize that we have what we have because of the sacrifice that it represents, and that those guys gave everything, not just their lives, they gave up their identity.
Yeah, one of the most awe-inspiring things that you will see if you ever make it to Arlington Cemetery. That's one of those crazy,
Yes.
just awesome things that you're able to see.
As far as my involvement with it, I was asked if I would take this to the local schools and colleges and things like that, so that the kids could learn about why it's so important to us. It's one of those things that if it's out of mind, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So we take it around to people that have never had the chance to go see it at Arlington. And we got associated with the Society of the Honor Guard, Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, which is made up of all former tomb guards. And they asked us to help with the centennial that took place back in 21. And we agreed to do that about 4 years ago now. And we've been touring the United States for the last 5 or 6 years. We were already touring some, and now we've gone to 33 states. And this state holds the record for the most visits by our tomb. Today marks our 5th trip to West Virginia.
Well, Bill, one thing that we do know about at least our community, we're very heavily involved. We have lots and lots and lots of veterans. We have lots of active duty members in our community, and always have been. West Virginia is one of those states that is always heavily involved in military operations. I know I've personally got a lot of buddies who've done multiple tours over there, and it means a lot to me to have you guys come here with this. And even when we came here with the Vietnam replica wall, that's a very important thing. It's very common and it's very easy, I think, for people to, as you mentioned, put it out of sight, out of mind. And if the history is not told and the history is not shared and passed on to the younger generations, it's going to be lost. The importance of it, I think, is what's lost.
The uniqueness of the tomb itself is that when you go to the tomb to see the changing of the guard, that's an amazing thing. But the guards themselves will tell you straight up, see beyond us, see why we're here, see to the reason that we're here.
Yes.
Every guard that I've talked to, and we have guards that have shown up at most of our shows, we are work in tandem with the Arlington Cemetery and the Tomb Guard Society. They send us all the information that the guards themselves have to know to become a guard. So it answers every possible question that could be asked about the tomb. That's where we get our information. And it's amazing, the story of the tomb is never told up there because they don't want to do anything, nor should they do anything to interfere with the solemnity and the dignity of that exercise. And they asked us if we would be the educational arm for the centennial, and we gladly said we would. And it's been an amazing trip for us, 8 years of touring this country and people coming out to see it. And I can say this from our 33 states we've been in, and I did some research on this. West Virginia, per capita, has more veterans than any other state in the country. Yeah. And it shows from where we've gone. We've been to Ripley a couple of times. We showed at the Capitol, in the Rotunda, here. It's just an amazing trip through this state to see the love for the veterans and the respect that they get here in this state.
We're talking with Bill King, who is manning the station here for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, the replica tomb. And it is right behind us, folks. If you haven't seen it yet, I beg and urge you guys to go down there and see that thing today and talk with Bill and talk with these guys, because they do have the information that you would need. It's right down behind us across from Heritage Park Building in the Castro and Harris lot, and it's set up nicely right there for you guys, and you can ask those questions. I was inviting people yesterday, and Josh Downey was with me yesterday morning. He said, bring your children down, please.
Yes.
If you're a veteran, if you're a grandparent or something like that, that's wonderful. Bring the younger generation here and talk to you guys about why this is so important, what it means to people.
Well, that's our mission in association with the Tomb Guard Society. Our mission is to tell the story of the tomb and the history behind it, and it's an amazing history. There's so many myths out there that are incorrect that you see on, Facebook. You've seen these pictures of people at the tomb, and they don't get that close to it. Believe me, they don't get that close to it.
No.
And if you go through it and see more of those Facebook pictures that are shopped, we might say,
Yeah.
it's the same girl in the same dress and at different, like the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Italy and the Tomb of the Unknown. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But none of that happens. Believe me.
What I found that was unique when we were talking yesterday was you said that when you guys went to build the tomb, the replica, they had all reached out to the powers that be at Arlington about getting specs on it.
Yeah.
Now, we got. They actually sent us a photostat copy of the original blueprints.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
because of our project and us going around and telling the story, my friend sitting right over there, Wayne. Wayne and I are associate members of the Society of the Honor Guard because of the project, and we get a lot of information directly from them that adds to the story, because we just found out about a year ago, about this time, that the soldier that's buried beneath the tomb of the unknown soldier for World War I is down 40 feet. Yeah, 40 feet.
Wow.
And the reason for that was that when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, there were 3 attempts to steal his body and ransom it for the government. And in his final burial at Springfield, if you visit that tomb, inside the building where he's buried, you can see the tomb, but he's not in that sarcophagus that's up on top.
Yeah.
He's 15 feet below, covered with cement, so
Wow.
nobody can steal it.
Yes.
So when they went to bury the World War I soldier unknown, they decided to go a little bit deeper. They went 40 feet and then covered it with cement. And the top part that you see above ground was not part of the tomb when he was buried. It didn't come to the tomb till 10 years later.
Really?
And people think he's buried in there. Well, we had to put that myth to rest.
Yeah.
And there's another myth that's out there that the guards have asked us to be sure to put to rest, that you've heard the story or maybe you've read it on some wrong publications, that the tomb guards take an oath or sign a document not to smoke, drink, or use profanity for the rest of their lives. That's not true. When they hit their front thumb with a hammer,
They'd
don't
be
just,
bored at that point.
sometimes it's not just ouch. And one of the guards said, now we have a reunion every other year up at the tomb, and we don't drink tea. We just don't get drunk.
We're talking with Bill King, who is here with the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and those are some of the cool things, though, that people would not know.
Right.
People just would not understand about it, and you have the access to that information. I do know that it is a very long and arduous process, though, to become a guard there. Of course, I've seen some things about that, but I can only know what they tell me on like a documentary or something like that.
Well, I've had the privilege of going in to where their quarters are when they're on duty and seeing what happens, and then being told what happens by the guards themselves. And the book they sent me with all these facts that we had to know as part of their knowledge test on their test to become a guard. And it consists of 21 pages of detailed information about the cemetery, the tomb, the soldiers, everything. And they have to know it verbatim to either write it or say it upon request of their trainers with only 4 mistakes. And that includes parentheses, periods, all of that. They got to know.
21 pages, 4 mistakes.
And that's just one of the 3 major things that they have to do to pass the test to become a tomb guard. And put another myth to rest, they're not ordered out of boot camp to that position. That's a voluntary position, but they have to be members of the 3rd Infantry Regiment, which is the old guard up at Washington.
I was going to say, is there a purpose behind that? It has to come from that 3rd.
They are the oldest continuous active duty unit in the United States military.
Wow.
So everybody that goes to the old guard is in the ceremonial guard that does the cannons, they do the caissons, they do the firing squad, and the bugle. Of course, the bugler comes from the Army band, but all of those guys are members of the 3rd Infantry Regiment. for the Army funerals and for dignitaries of state, they're responsible for it. It's been the Army that has guarded the tomb 24/7 since 1937.
And that's just that's one of the most amazing things about that 24/7, 365, regardless.
Right, and there have been a couple occasions where we had a couple of tornadoes or hurricanes go through the lower part of the cemetery, and the commanding officer of the old guard even called down to the tomb quarters and told the ones that were on duty that day, "You can stand down when the worst comes through." And they said, "With all due respect, sir, we do not leave them unguarded," and they haven't.
And a lot of people say, and I knew this to be fact that it wasn't. A lot of people will say, "Oh, when it's bad outside, they don't stand out there."
They're out there 24/7, even at night.
Yeah.
In fact, many times they're short of guards because since 1958, when they started giving the guard badges that had to be earned, and it takes about 6 to 9 months training to pass the test, but they will tell you real quick. We at night have to do like an hour at a time, and sometimes if they're short, one person might pull a whole night on the mat, and even at the night when the cemetery's closed, they're walking that mat.
Yep. Back and forth. Talking with Bill King, who is here with the replica of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Let me ask you this. Obviously, that is a sacred area in the cemetery, but are there times where the guards actually have to, get I don't know how you say get with it, get armed or something like that. Are there times when people
There are times
intentionally do things or maybe accidentally?
Most of it's accidental.
Okay.
Like they might drop a camera. They want it absolutely quiet up there out of respect to the unknowns, as it should be. Respect and dignity are the two important words up there.
Yeah.
2 of the 4. But as far as respect and dignity are concerned, I think what happens most of the time is people just aren't aware that they're making as much noise as they are. And if it's too noisy, or if somebody tries to come beyond the barrier to get a better picture, which happens occasionally, they will come off the mat. They'll bring their rifle to port arms, and they will challenge them to get back where they belong.
I would imagine that wouldn't take
It's not
long.
it's not, let's say, not very nice.
Yeah, I would imagine. And it probably doesn't take too long for people to step back and relax.
Not just the person that moved, because I was up there one time, and there's a young lady that was guarding the tomb, and she's sort of a legend up there, one of the first ladies to be able to guard the tomb. And somebody tried to come around the barrier to get a better picture, and she came off the mat, and when she started talking, well, let me rephrase that, when she started yelling,
Yes.
the whole crowd steps back about one step.
It's not just the guilty party. Everybody's back for a second.
But they mean business up there, because their responsibility is to guard not just the tomb and the crypts, but that whole area below the tomb down to the next section of the cemetery is their responsibility.
Yeah.
And occasionally they've had people cross the wire down there and come up that walkway, which they're not permitted to do, and come up the steps right behind the tomb.
Oh, man.
And they'll come off and they'll chase them off. And everything that happens on the plaza is on closed-circuit TV, fed downstairs. So if anything were to happen within seconds, there would be
more than just one.
They wouldn't want that one. I mean,
Bill, I tell you what, man, I can't thank you enough for coming up here and talking with us about this stuff. And again, I really urge everybody, if they haven't been here yet, you said you guys have had a lot of people come by,
Right.
but I hope you guys are here for today, right?
We'll be here today. After the parade, we're going to need to pack up probably around 2:30 or 3. We have to get back to Rome for tomorrow.
Okay, so folks,
it's about an 8.5-hour drive.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of time, folks, left. If you want, come down here to the Heritage Park building, look across. You'll see the replica, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Go down and talk to Bill and his partners here, because not only do you have the information, it's important that people see this, and it's important that people remember this thing and understand the truths and the lies behind the stuff
right.
and the myths. And
get into talking with him about how the selection process.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
I mean, he was telling me that yesterday, and I was just, I was hanging on his every word.
It really is an impressive thing, and it's an important thing as well. And I'm glad you guys are here. Thank
And
you.
before
all.
we close this session, we like to close it with every time we talk about the tomb or even do a presentation, we close with this. It's a saying that the tomb guards have, and we've added our little bit to it afterwards. A soldier never dies until he's forgotten. Tomb guards never forget. And we like to add to it, neither will we, because if it hadn't been for their sacrifices, both the known and unknown soldiers, we would not have what we have today. And if we ever forget that, we don't deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Bill King.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is Bill King with the replica Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Just powerful stuff there, George. Absolutely powerful stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know what that means to me.
Yeah, and myself too. I mean, I've got a brother that he spent full time in the Air Force until he mandatory out, you know, and he went through Vietnam and everything, and he was there for most of Nam.
Yeah.
So
I've got my own little wall of honor
Yeah.
In my basement with all the pictures of my father, my grandfather, all my buddies who have
Yeah.
been over there, you know. Just a really cool thing. I hope people decide to come down there and take a look at that because it doesn't come around. This is not something that just
Yeah.
everybody gets to do. These guys are very busy, as he mentioned.
Yeah.
And Bill King, thank you so much for joining us. And again, they are going to be here, folks, until about 2 or 2:30, right after the parade. So take advantage of this opportunity. If you don't, you're going to be very, very remiss that you missed out on it. If you did, you're going to be happy that you did.
Oh yes.
Absolutely.
And you know, I stopped by yesterday when I was leaving, and they were not busy. And I started talking to one of the ladies down there, and she said, "Let me get Bill over here to talk
Yes,
to you."
absolutely.
And, you know, I was so glad she did. And I asked him immediately. I said, "Can you come up in the morning and come on with us?"
Listen, we're always trying to pull people away from their actual jobs. Folks, again, we're here all morning and into the afternoon here at the Black Walnut Festival. This hour of content sponsored by the City of Spencer, the Black Walnut Festival Committee. They just wanted to tell everybody they hope you're having a great festival, and they want to encourage people to come down and enjoy the 69th Festival. Also, thank you very much, Sherry Williams. Sherry Burgess Williams reminded me, I forgot to tell them this morning, it wasn't listed this morning, but the pancake breakfast is happening still this morning, 7 to 11 at St. John's United Methodist Church. That is for Boy Scout and Cub Scout Troop 437. So please go and get your pancakes again. It's a big fundraiser for them every single year, and they're going to continue that until 11 o'clock this morning. Folks, stick around. We're going to go radio silent for a second. We'll stay live on our Facebook and YouTube channels, and we'll be back with another interview here in just a bit. Thank you. That was I want to welcome everybody back to our live coverage of the 69th Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. Thank you all for joining us throughout. And again, we're going to stay live here on our Facebook and YouTube channels. We just want to keep getting the word out. Any information you all need, just ask a question. It's fine. Any comments, any questions, just put it on our chat box right here, and we've got the chat pulled up. So if you have any informational questions you need to know, I'll tell you what, if you want to know about the weather right now, I'm seeing it clear up already. It has not rained for about an hour. And also, if you look off over the Walmart area, it looks like some clouds are going away, and we may even have a little bit of blue skies coming here pretty soon for the festival. Obviously, people are wondering about the weather for the Grand Parade. The Grand Parade weather looks like it may be pretty good. We're just going to wait and see for sure. But we're expecting to have some good weather. Lots of things getting going now. It's 9:40 in the morning, and, of course, at 10 o'clock, that's when things are really going to start getting crazy down here in the town area. Obviously, the parade setup is happening right now down at Handy Mart, at the COA, and Washington Park. We're getting ready to have some live music. I went over and talked with Brent Wilson. They're setting the stage up right now. They're raising the stage, raising all the stuff, and you're going to have Smith and Wilson coming in here in just a little bit, and they'll start at 10 a.m., and they will perform until the Grand Parade begins at noon. Also, a lot of stuff opening up at 10 here around the Courthouse Square. Euro Bungee will start again. I know the kids have loved that. The information booth and the merchandise tent right beside of us, as you can see off to the left of our screen, that will be open here in about 20 minutes. You can still get all of your Black Walnut Festival merchandise there and any information you need. Also at 10 o'clock, the glass blower will get going here at the Courthouse Square. The chainsaw artists will be down at the Armory. The Mason-Dixon boys also at 10 a.m. The carnival will open up here in about an hour and 15 minutes. And again, I'm going to be giving away some wristbands. Not wristbands, they're just armband tickets, and you can go cash those in for a wristband for one of the sessions. In fact, we have 6 of those to give away this morning, so it's going to be trivia question based. In fact, I'm going to give away my first set of those at 10 o'clock. So at 10 a.m., you must be watching us here on our Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to give away a pair of armband tickets, good to redeem at the carnival for a free session with an armband. We're going to do that at 10 o'clock, and hopefully you guys are tuned in and watching us, and that way you can find out the trivia question. First person to make it here to our booth, which is located right on the corner of Court and Church Street, with the correct answer, and you can win a couple of those today. Thank you very much for the comment, Tiffany Nicholas. No, we do not do birthday clubs on the weekends. So if you have a weekend birthday, let's say you want to submit somebody who has a Saturday birthday this year, you can submit it. And if we don't get it by Friday, when we do the birthday club early, we will do the birthday club for the weekend. If we get it late on Saturday, we'll do it on our Monday birthday club. Same thing with Sunday. So no, we don't do the actual birthday club on Saturday or Sunday mornings, but we will recognize and put those in for Friday or Monday, depending on when they come in to us. So yeah, that's what we do with the birthday club information. Also this afternoon, the food court will open, again this morning at 11 o'clock, obviously. Those people are over there ready to go, and they've got their smokers going. They got their food trucks opened up and getting ready to serve the public once again today. A lot of those places selling out of items a lot of the times, which is very good for the businesses, and hopefully they continue to restock their items and get things going. So some of the things this afternoon, of course, music after the parade. Jack and Davis Reed will take the stage 2 to 4 p.m. At 4:30 to 6:30, the Jeremy Short Band. Zona Hester at 7 to 9 o'clock tonight. Moving into tomorrow morning, the craft show, the David Davis one-room school pictures, the art and photography show, and the flea market all will open again tomorrow at 10 a.m. At 10:15 in the morning down at Heritage Park, that's going to be the registration for the 5K Nut Run and Walk. They'll actually run the race there at 11 o'clock. Still some confusion about the car show. Right now, the car show is on As of right now, the car show is on. Registration for that, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. The show lasts from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also, over there, they're going to have entertainment with Ryan Erickson. He will be over there picking and grinning and playing some good music for you over there. The food court will open tomorrow at noon, so 1 hour later than per usual, and most of those vendors will stay open as long as people continue to come in and buy their food. In the afternoon, obviously, the carnival will go from 11 to 4 tomorrow. The afternoon, though, the gospel sing set for the courthouse lawn. And again, talking with David Bowen, he had mentioned that they do have an alternate site prepared if the weather does not cooperate with them. But if it does, they remind you to bring yourself a chair and just come out and have a good time and listen to gospel music from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. They're going to have the Sincere Gospel Quartet, Ron Shamblin, Tim McCoy, the Lee family, and David and Sheila Bowen will be at the courthouse lawn. Hope we get the chance to talk to Dave if he's around today sometime. Want to talk and ask him about how last night's gospel sing went out at Faith Baptist Church with Mike Upright and David and Sheila Bowden. Obviously, that is kind of the big deal at the end of the festival on Sunday, and that is that gospel sing on the front courthouse lawn. I walked over to Main Street just recently, and they have got all of the chairs set out already. The wrestling team from Roane County High School is selling spots for the chairs, and they are lining Main Street like crazy, up and down, and it's going to be a really, really good time there for the festival parade. And I hope, and I pray that the weather continues to go the way that it's going right now, because it looks as if there are some skies clearing a bit. It may be overcast, but if it's overcast, George Allen, that is okay as long as the rain is not flowing down upon us.
Absolutely. I've been watching the radar. Looks like it's out of here for a while anyway, so that's a good thing.
That was what we saw.
It looks like it's gone until the afternoon. So
I'll take that.
I'm holding
strong, holding steady. Well, I tell you what, I brought 4 towels and 2 umbrellas just in case this thing got a little bit sideways on us.
Yep.
And so far, it looks like it's going to be okay. Did you get a chance to see our good buddy Jason with?
Yes, he's going to come over here in just a little bit, and he'll get on with us. He was getting some stuff on the smoker, and he told me he's completely out of chicken wings.
I'm telling you, and he said on Wednesday, he said, I'm pretty sure I brought enough this year. He said, I would love to sell out because it means I've sold so much stuff. And I told him he came yesterday with brisket in the morning, and I said, when are you going to sell out of the brisket? I said, because I know you're going to sell out of the brisket today. And he said, I don't know, man. I hope I can last till 4:30, 5 o'clock. He said, what today? 2:30? He was done yesterday, 2:30?
Exactly.
Did he tell you he was going to have any more brisket?
Yeah, he's got brisket, pulled pork, and ribs.
Okay,
today.
Good. Well, he does have lots more meat ready to go.
Yeah.
Our sponsor for this hour of content, the City of Spencer and the Black Walnut Festival. They just want to invite everyone to come down again today and tomorrow and enjoy the rest of this 69th Annual Black Walnut Festival. It has been so well attended. It has been such a great success. I want to thank all of the workers, all the volunteers, and all the sponsors to make this thing happen so well as it does. And they want to invite you to come down again today and enjoy all the festival has to offer. We've got sponsors throughout the day. Coming up at the 10 o'clock hour, going to get a chance to talk again with Anita Harold Ashley, our 5th Circuit Judge, and she is running for 5th Circuit Judge again in this election, this nonpartisan election that will take place in May. We've got a lot of people on tap. Now, I did block off a whole area from 11:30 until 2 o'clock for the Grand Parade because we're going to be out front, and I'm going to be covering the Grand Parade. Actually, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to be filming it.
Sitting back.
I'm going to sit there and film it while Adam Anderson, our MC, comes and does all of the parade for us here today. And very interesting story. Adam is a former employee of WVRC. He was the play-by-play for Roane County Sports when I started as the color man back in 2007. And then he went up and got married and took off on me, and so he just left it to me. And so now, 14 years later, here I still am, going strong. I tell you what a game last night, George.
Yeah.
Roane County, the #1 team for the first time in their history, entering a game, and they did not disappoint against Braxton County.
I'm ashamed to say it, but when I went home yesterday, I crawled in the recliner and I reached down, grabbed a hold of that handle, and kicked it back an L for loser. The lights were out, Bubba.
It's quite all right, buddy. I know we've had a long week here, and it continues today.
Here comes Jason now.
But it's going to be a good time. Good. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to put my headset down. I'm going to let you interview Jason while I'm slamming food. How fun is that to be the – hey, sometimes it's good to be the boss, all right? And sometimes when you're the boss, you can put down the mic and listen and eat while you're watching Jason talk about more good food. Come on in, buddy. Jason has become now – I told him, I said yesterday, I said, dude, I'm just going to have to hire you if this smoking meat thing doesn't work out because he's good on the radio with us. He's good on the air.
I just turn him loose and let him go. Give him some mic there, Drew.
Oh, he would pick up the one I didn't turn on.
Well,
My bad, dude.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I've always been told I had a face for radio, so.
Hey, we all do. All three of us.
Yeah, they said when Brian was up here yesterday, they showed my face. His ratings went way down for Channel 13 yesterday.
Ratings went.
Yeah,
took a nosedive.
when they showed my face. Yeah. Well, you got over there.
I got a breakfast sandwich.
He went over to backwoods.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, he brought me back a coffee. I'm good to go.
Okay.
It goes well with my medication.
It looks like it
It's
should.
your lie. You tell it however you want to.
Wintertime's just around the corner. You're just adding insulation.
So, we've talked the past few days.
Yep.
How's the smoking going over there? Lots of product?
Steady. Yes. Again, just it never ceases to amaze me. Every day I'm here and I'm saying, yep, we're ready. We're prepared. And
They run right over top
I think
of you.
the listeners take it as a challenge.
Exactly.
We're going to prove him wrong.
Well, I mean, we've tried to tell you that.
Yeah. Yesterday we had 26 racks of ribs, and they were gone by 1 o'clock. And, I just can't say.
Well, and you were telling me that chicken wings
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, chicken wings were being pre-ordered, before they even come off the smoker, and that's unheard of.
Yeah. But when you got people that's coming in and saying, I'll take 2 dozen, 3 dozen, whatever,
Right.
they're not going to last long.
Right, exactly. And, I aim to please.
Yeah.
So if you ask me if I have enough time to do it, I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
The difference is, the smoking side of it don't happen in the blink of an eye.
No, it takes time.
Yep.
When you're going low and slow.
The shortest thing I have over there, is at least 2.5, 3 hours. So you just gotta kind of watch your inventory and how it's selling, how quick it's going, and then try to stay ahead of it. And
Well, especially like a brisket, you're talking, 16 hours?
16, 18 hours on
Yeah.
a good brisket. So, there's no way to throw one of them on this morning and have it,
Ready by
to,
noon.
Right.
No, there's
Right.
no way to do
So,
it.
And all my stuff's, cooked fresh on site. Nothing's pre-cooked off site or nothing like that. Everything's done right in my smoking oven.
Hey, I had that brisket sandwich yesterday. Man.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I was told that brisket sandwich was 3 times the size of a normal brisket sandwich. What did he do? How did he fluff you up for that?
Well, it helps to know the boss.
There we go.
No, but I'll tell you what, that was some kind of good. And those cheesy hash browns. Oh, with that and the baked beans. Oh,
That's
I come back over here after I got done eating. Drew said, "What's going on?" I said, "I've got the meat sweats."
that's a good sweat to have.
Exactly.
Drew had him yesterday morning off of one little slice of brisket. I didn't know if he was still recovering from his stay in the hospital or what was going on with him. I almost had to check on him there for a few minutes.
But I mean, that brisket was so tender and juicy. I mean, it was phenomenal. Hats off to you on that one.
Well, I appreciate it. It's something that, when I told me and Drew was talking about it earlier in the week, I didn't really let the cat out of the bag because it's not really my comfort zone. You know what I mean? I'm more of the ribs and the pulled pork and.
Well, that was an awesome piece of meat. It was very tender, juicy. I mean, I was blown away when I took the first bite. It was like, wow, I wish I wouldn't have put this sauce on here now.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just want to thank everybody. That's first and foremost. I couldn't do it without the people showing up every day.
Exactly.
And the crowds have been phenomenal all week. I mean, I've seen it bigger daily than what it was last year.
Yeah.
And everybody was talking about last year how big it was with, it was the first full-blown festival after COVID and all that. And
when you get right down to it, this year is the first complete full year of everything. I mean, it's back in full strength this year.
Yeah, and I can tell.
So,
So we're hopefully next year for the 70th, we get the pleasure to come back and celebrate the 70th with the
I bet you he gets a tractor and trailer and brings it in with a reefer on it so he can keep product here.
I'm just going to have the meat suppliers set up a meat truck out there.
Bushel right there on hand.
Yeah, there we go. But no, hopefully next year. I mean, this year I'm set up better than what I was last year. And I've got some plans for some winter restorations, and
I like those ideas too.
Hopefully we can come back next year, be a little bit bigger and better. And that's what I was telling somebody over a little bit ago. I said, man, for somebody who don't do this for a living, sure is putting a lot of money into a hobby.
Yeah. But, it's like we talked the other day. You got to love it.
Right. It's a passion.
I mean, it's not something that you want to hang your hat on and say, this is my job. No, I love doing what I'm doing.
Right. Because when it becomes,
and it shows.
When it becomes your job, you lose the passion.
Yeah. But I mean, the chicken wings, I've had the chicken wings so far. I've had the brisket. And either one of those, they're both top shelf.
I appreciate it.
I mean, the quality of the chicken wings, because most of the time with chicken wings, they'll get dried out if they're overly done. And you had those to the point where when you bit into it, the juice was running. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were tender and succulent. I mean, very good.
It's all in how...
the fat men can talk about food.
Right, absolutely. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
You never go to a good restaurant and find a skinny chef.
That's it. I mean, I like my food. And, we're on a first name basis.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, again, thanks to the city of Spencer, everybody that's come out, Roane County, people, I've talked to people from bordering counties that come, and, they come every year, or they try to come every year. And, it's good just getting that word out there and seeing the people come from the neighboring counties. And I heard somebody just in passing yesterday was walking by talking to somebody else. Yeah, we drove 3 hours to come down.
Yeah.
And, we heard about the festival, first time we've ever been here. And so.
Well, we were talking about this all week. A lot of people will make this week times for their family reunion. Mm-hmm. And they do the reunion and do the festival at the same time. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome.
I just wanted to pop in real quick, Jason, and say thank you, number one, for being a consistent promoter of the station here and a consistent promoter of your product, because you do great work here. I'm glad that you've developed a relationship with the city and the Black Walnut Festival, because I know you're going to continue to do this, and I know you got great plans in the future for what you want to do next year. You're going to come back bigger and better, obviously, and even more prepared in year 3 than year number 2. And again, thanks for bringing us food over too. I really appreciate that. That's never a bad thing. But again, even if you're from a county over, you might as well just call yourself a Roane County. And for this week, every time you come down to the festival, buddy.
On day 1, he brought the chicken wings that morning when we got ready to go on the air. And, it was just, he hooked me right there.
Well, he does that.
Yeah, and, that was lunch. That was lunch, later on. So,
well, Jason, we appreciate your time, man, as always, and we hope you have the best day today with what you got left, buddy. I know
absolutely. And, and if you ever come up to the tent and you have a question about something, I have a little philosophy, and it's to try it before you buy it. If you're on the edge about something, let one of us know. Whether you don't know whether you want the pork or the brisket, I don't mind to give you a little sample of it, and of each of them.
Yeah.
If you're on the edge between the brisket and the pork, let me know, and you can get you a sample and to try it before you buy it. I'm a firm believer in that, because the last thing I want is you walking away thinking you made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that I can say, I mean, I've had a lot of your food, and I have never had anything that I was disappointed with. Nothing. I mean, everything. The one thing that I wish you had was your Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts, but you've never had them smoked, and you've never had them the way that Jason does them. They're awesome.
Well, next year I'll make note of that, and I'll start buying Brussels sprouts in June.
You'd have to.
That way I know, because the thing about them is they're kind of scarce.
Yeah.
You can't find just good quality Brussels sprouts anywhere.
Yeah.
My supplier, it's a day-by-day basis.
Have you ever had his, Drew?
I have.
Oh, man.
And you have to call whether they have them or not. Then so I'll start stocking them up in middle of the summer. That way I know I've hopefully got enough, which I probably won't.
Yeah.
But
That's the thing that we've learned here. As much as you think there is, it's still not enough.
I've learned to just say, now I hope I'm prepared instead of yes, I think I've got it. No,
Yeah.
because every time I say that, I never have it. So today, I hope I'm prepared enough to last past 5 o'clock.
Well, Jason, we wish you the best of luck, and thank you again for your patronage this year at the festival.
Yep, absolutely.
That
Thank
is
you, guys.
Jason Miles Bennett from Getting Piggy with It 304. And again, folks, you better get over there quickly and find out what this guy's all about, because he is going to sling the meat here today again, and then he's going to start running out of meat once again.
Exactly.
And that's just the way it is.
It's a good problem to have.
I like that
For
problem.
him. For him, it's a good problem.
We've had that issue with the vendors here this year. He said that he's talked to a bunch of them. They've run out of stuff because so many people are here and so many people are enjoying this festival. Had a question online. Think it'll be raining for the parade? No, I don't think it's going to rain for the parade. Now, do I know that for certain? No, but the Doppler radar looks like it's going to be advantageous for our noon grand parade.
Right.
And hopefully it holds off for the full couple hours the parade will be taking place. And again, don't forget, folks, we will have the parade live streaming on this station. We're going to shut down our equipment right at 11:30, and then we'll come back live at right before noon up with the Main Street stage, and we'll be ready to go to work. We've got another half hour of content here, and we've got our 10 o'clock sponsor kind of waiting around. I tell you what, one thing I like about sponsors is if they are prompt, on time, ready to go, and ready to talk. And we have our sponsor who has been here hanging out, waiting her turn, and since about 10:45. And as soon as it's time for her to come on, then she has to talk to the people.
Exactly.
We got Anita Harold Ashley out there, and she's talking, doing some speaking with some of the people here in Spencer. But she is our exclusive sponsor for this half hour of content on WVRC. Again, folks, we invite you to ask us questions here. If you have any information you need to know, if we don't know it immediately, we will get it to you for this fourth day. And if you have questions about tomorrow as well, again, I know people have been asking about the car show. At the moment, the last I talked to Nathan Kendall, they are planning on going forward with the car show. And also, Ryan Erickson is going to be over there playing music for the car show tomorrow. Now, again, plans can always change, but as of right now, we're good to go with that event. So we're very happy. If Anita wants to grab another headset there, she's now become old hat at this. This is about the fifth time now we've been able to talk to her. We've talked to her yesterday, and Anita. So it's been a fun weekend for the festival for you, obviously. And I was talking, I said, well, you were here early, you were prompt, you were on time, and as soon as it was your turn, somebody came to talk to you. And that's how it goes when you're here at the festival, just being who you are, but also becoming a candidate.
You're right. You need to talk to people. That's part of it.
Exactly.
Some of it is answering questions. Some of it is just talking with people. Some of it, have you really had, I got to ask this, have you had people ask you about, I don't even know, because it's not really a political position, even though it's an elected. Do people ask about your platforms or anything like that?
Fortunately not.
Yeah, you're like, I'd like to stay away from the political side of this if we could possibly do it.
Right. Politics is no business in a courtroom. So, you need to remember that.
Well, so how has it been for the last couple of days? Of course, we spoke to you just, I think it was yesterday.
Yes.
My days run together, but
Mine too.
it
this
was
point.
great weather all day yesterday, and you had a chance to go around and talk with people yesterday again.
I did. Had just a great day. Just enjoyed everything.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was worried this morning about the weather situation. George yesterday assured me that we were going to have pretty decent weather at the time we needed it, and of course, everybody's setting up this morning. It was raining when I got here. It's been raining all morning, and then all of a sudden 9 o'clock, and the things are starting to open, and the weather is starting to change a little bit now. It's still overcast. There's still a little possibility. But I think that, and of course, you're going to be in the parade, right?
You're right.
Are you walking or are you riding in this thing?
Well, I'm going to ride.
Yeah.
But I have some people walking with me.
I would ride too, just in case the weather does get awkward. Then you could jump in the vehicle.
I was in Point Pleasant last Saturday in a parade, and it was so cold that I hadn't planned on it. So I rode last week
Yeah. Well,
instead of being out.
This is a long parade route. People don't even think about this. There are some parades that are shorter. There are some that are really, really long. I mean, it's not exactly the Macy's Day Parade, but it's all the way up the bypass and all the way through town. You're going to get an exercise in, even if you didn't want to, if you're walking this parade route.
You're right. You're exactly right.
Well, obviously, again, we mentioned yesterday, Anita, we were talking about, the things that you've accomplished in your career and where you started, Glenville State, not sure what you wanted to do, ended up in law, loving law, and then you ended up in the position that you're in right now, which is our current Fifth Circuit judge. What is your plan for the future for you? I mean, I know that this is not something you feel like you love this job. You feel like you want to continue to do this job. Is this something you want to just continue for as long as you can?
It is. It is. I enjoy it. My husband's semi-retired, and I hate to say it, but I don't think we both need to be retired.
Yeah, just one of you. Just one of you. Just one of you. Was Bob happy to be the one that said, "Yeah, I'll take the reins on this one. I'll step back a little bit."
Yeah, probably. But no, I enjoy what I'm doing. I feel like I'm making a difference, and as long as I can, I'm going to continue.
Absolutely, absolutely. You've been able to go around town and talk with a lot of these people here this week. What's the response been for them?
Everybody's been super nice. It's just been, people are glad to be out, be able to be back to the festival, seeing things kind of get back to normal. It's nice.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to just meet and greet people.
Yeah, it's one of the things that, again, you and Bob have been pillars of this community for a long time anyway. And so your faces are well known during festival time, during all these things. You guys are consummate people who promote this county and have been doing that for quite a long time. Of course, Bob doing it in an avenue that he can actually have some pull into
Right.
the county as well. But you guys have been strong supporters of a lot of things in this county and in this community for many, many years. Where does that come from you guys?
Oh, well, Bob grew up with it. I mean, he was a little boy when his dad was first elected to the legislature. And my parents both grew up here in Roane County. My dad ran the Hardman store in Glenville forever, 40-some years, and married my mom, moved her over there. But we were always community-minded. I was involved in scouting as a kid and happy to be a Boy Scout parent of 2 Eagles. And, of course, I had to have my pancakes again this morning. Black walnut pancakes, my favorite food of the festival.
That's it.
But we flipped pancakes a lot of years, too.
Yeah.
See, she already answered that question for us.
Yes, she did. I was getting ready to think. I was like, did I ask her what the favorite food was? Yes, I do remember that.
I've known Anita for many, many years. And when she first started practicing law, I can tell you from day one until today, her passion for the law is still strong. I mean, it was so strong from day one, but now it's still shown through.
Well, thank you. It's something I enjoy, and I think it's so important that we have a justice system that works.
Yes,
And,
exactly.
I have certain rules in my courtroom. I like to be on time. I like to get cases processed, get orders entered, get things accomplished, and I like to see good outcomes in cases.
Yes.
Well, again, and you're not just a robot in the courtroom, obviously. You're a human being outside of the courtroom. One of the things I really like about I see you guys all the time. You don't just hang in and do your job. You guys are out and about a lot. You guys are community members, and you are in the community a lot. And again, that lasted, when your boys were very young. It's really, it's got to be cool for you to see Ben come back here. Obviously,
It is.
Sam in his type of work, it's just one of those things where he had to take another route and get to where he had to go. But it's really cool to see Ben back here and running a business that Bob ran for so many years. And he and his wife and their kid doing great things here in the community. Ben's a busy guy too, as well.
He's a very busy guy.
Yeah.
And so is Sam. I mean, but our kids got a good education here. They got good direction on what they wanted to do, and they've gotten good careers. And
Now,
I'm really proud of that.
the important thing, sports. Let's talk sports now.
Oh, yeah.
Anita Harold Ashley is someone, if you don't know, she knows sports.
I love sports.
Yes. Is that something that was always a strong thing for you guys growing up? I know there was a lot of activities outdoors, but sports was big in your life.
Oh, absolutely. My dad, he moved to Glenville in 1953, and by the year 2007, he'd missed fewer than 5 home basketball games at Glenville State College.
Yeah.
And only those because he was required to be out of town for work. But
Wow.
I grew up sitting in the gym. I mean, if it was a college, it was a high school, it was girls, it was boys, it was elementary. I mean, and my brother ended up being a coach, and we were there all the time. I love sports.
That's a cool ride and connection that we had here in Roane County when your brother was at Glenville State and all the success that he had, and then you were able to follow them on his journey to the next step and the next level. That was kind of cool.
It was
and
really cool.
You kept all of us here abreast of that.
Yeah. It was pretty neat. It's been fun.
What's going on now with that whole thing?
He lives in Parkersburg, and he's the athletic director for Warren Local Schools in Ohio.
Okay. Oh, stepping back a little bit and calming it down a little bit.
Yeah.
And you, again, no stranger to being in the gym for a long time. You had 2 boys who were very athletic young men. And, again, not only that, the lessons that were taught to you, the lessons that you and Bob taught those young men, and more than that, you taught them lessons of community service.
Right.
And I'm watching what Ben is doing, and he and his wife are doing with Ashley Insurance now. The name carries on. That's got to feel kind of cool for
It
you
is
guys.
really cool. It is really cool.
And what they do is they continue to promote this community, and they continue to be members of this community. Of course, he's splitting time, Charleston and here, doing his job with ZMM Architects
Right.
and coming here as well. But, when it comes to you and your candidacy, all that is lumped into this. The fact that you're a member of this community, have been for years, you care about this community, you love this community, and you continue to want to be a part of it. You don't want to – you're not ready to retire and sit
Yep.
back and do nothing. You want to be out and about in our community, and that's just ours. That's not including all the travel now. How has the travel been for you, by the way?
It's been fun. I mean, we go to Calhoun, Jackson, and Mason on a regular basis, too. Something every day. But
I tell you, campaign trails, not me. I couldn't do it.
I could never see her retired. I mean, never. She's constantly moving.
yeah, I try to stay busy. It's good for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good for me.
Well, Anita, I tell you what, this is a wonderful festival, I think, that we've had this year, and obviously you guys being a part of it always helps. The years of candidacies are always interesting to me, but again, the apolitical ones are fun for me because you're just like, listen, I don't have to ask you about Democrat, Republican, anything. I can just ask you what your philosophy is in a courtroom, and you say, I want to keep a strong courtroom presence. I want to make sure things run as smoothly as possible. Is that hard to do, by the way?
Sometimes. There are lawyers.
There's a lot of moving parts involved here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lawyers. Well, don't forget, you at one time were an attorney.
You're right.
So what's next on the docket for you guys? Obviously, you're going to be in this grand parade.
Right.
Hopefully the weather stays for you.
Well, yeah, I remember the year that it poured the rain.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yesterday.
I can't remember the year that
I
it
think-
was, but it was bad.
I think it was 93.
Yes, I do. It was somewhere around when I was in high school.
Yeah, and our son Sam was one of the little guys that was attendants to the Black Walnut Queen wearing a tux riding a
Right.
float. And as soon as the parade was over, we took those shoes, turned them upside down, and
Oh,
dumped the
wow.
water out of them.
I think that year, if I'm not mistaken, I think my sister was a princess in the court. And I remember them getting ready, and then I remember after it was all over, and they were just I mean, it
Drenched.
was like you think about all the makeup that was smeared everywhere. It was not the funnest day for being a beauty queen or a princess at all, or being attendant. I don't think it's going to be that bad today. So after that, what's next on the docket for you guys?
Oh my
Where
gosh!
were you
well,
going?
there's other stuff going on today. I mean, we'll take in as many events as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And then as the months progress, obviously things will get kicked into high gear probably in January. Of course, January is big for the general election, but again, you guys are still trying to do this early.
Right. We'll file in January, officially file. I mean, I filed pre-candidacy, but I'll
Yeah.
file the official stuff, and then the election's in May, so it's going to be a busy winter, early spring.
There'll be no rest
No.
for whatever weariness you may have. Well, again, you've been hard at it for many years. Do you get weary? Do you get tired at all?
Well, not too bad.
I was going to say, if she does, it doesn't show.
That's the thing. Either you don't get tired or you hide it well.
Exactly. One or the other. One or the other. Because, I mean, like I said, I've known her for years, and, you know, she's a go-getter, and she tries everything in her power to keep things running just the way it needs to be.
I try.
It's not easy to do. Now, Bob, on the other hand, that might be a little different. I'm kidding. I have a great time with Bob. I tell you what, nobody regales me with stories better than your husband does.
He's full of them.
And most of the time, it's at Backwood Ramblings while I'm trying to avoid work. So it works out well for me. Anita, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us these 2 trips. And we wish you the best of luck. Obviously, we hope you do a great job with this and just continue to do what you're doing. And we'll see what happens in May.
Well, and thank you for taking over the radio station and keeping this alive. This is
wouldn't
important to
miss
our
it.
community, and we really appreciate you.
I would not miss it. I got to keep this going now. If I didn't want to do it in the first place, now I have to keep it going. There's pressure on me. We hope you have a wonderful rest of the festival.
Thank you.
Enjoy the parade as well.
We will.
That is Anita Harold Ashley for Fifth Circuit Judge, and she is our current Fifth Circuit Judge in Roane, Calhoun, Point Pleasant, Mason County, and Jackson County. Great day here at the festival, folks. We hope that you decide to come down. Brave the rain. It's not here right now. The rain is going to be gone for a while. The parade is going to go on as usual. It starts at 12 noon. If you can't make it to the parade, we will have it, though, here on our Facebook and YouTube live feeds. Folks, stick around. More content to come here. We've got more sponsors to talk with. We've got more promotion to do for the 69th Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. All right. We welcome everyone back who is tuning in on our Facebook and YouTube live feeds here at the 69th Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival. My name is Andrew Miller, and we've had a great morning here. We will not let the rain possibility dampen the spirits of the festival here on day number 4. We do have some pretty good weather right now. It is overcast. We've had a lot of questions about the weather when it comes to the Grand Parade at noon. Now, what we're seeing on our forecast is a spotty possible shower, about 50% chance, but it's not supposed to be much. So we're expecting it to be a very good couple of hours for the Grand Parade starting at noon. We invite you to come down. The wrestling team is still selling some seats along Main Street. They've got the seats already set out. They've got a lot of seats, though, already chocked full of people who have ordered seats for the best view of the festival parade. But again, it's going to be a good day today, whether or not. We're going to have a great time here at the festival. It has been a tremendous festival in the first few days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Weather was great. So many people, so much foot traffic just in our area of the courthouse square, and that doesn't include all the things that have been going on over at the Armory, the things down at the Heritage Park building, over at Spencer Middle School, the flea market on Front Street. This has been a well-attended and very good festival for the 69th annual. One of the things that we have been talking with, we've got our good buddy David Bowen with us, and I've never seen
Somebody just told me to wave at the camera.
Oh, did it?
Hello.
Dave is a consummate promoter of events, and we've seen David a good bit, and he's come over and talked with us. You keep us updated on the gospel sings and things like that. And one of the things that you were, I don't know if you were nervous about or just unsure about, was changing the gospel sing from Saturday night to Friday night. And we talked to you yesterday before it happened, and you were just like, I hope people decide to come out. We're going to try it at least for a couple years. I hope it's well attended. Well, I talked to you this morning. You came bouncing over to me, and I was like, yep, it was good, wasn't it?
Absolutely, and had a great time. And you're exactly right. We was a little bit of both. You're kind of nervous about it because, you know, anytime you make any changes, it's hard to get people to get their mind changed, you know,
Yeah.
It's been on Saturday night for probably 45 years, the Black Walnut Festival gospel sing. So to change it to Friday night, I was just afraid it was going to be a big deal, but, you know, it ended up, hey, had a great time, had great attendance there, and everybody was well receptive to, I think, the idea of having it on Friday night. Maybe the folks, as we've talked about, maybe they wasn't quite so worn out, and so they came out to support our gospel sing there, and brother Mike Upright that was there singing, he really enjoyed himself, and he was free. And as I was talking to you a little earlier, that the whole audience that was there seemed just to be free and relaxed and just had a great time in the gospel sing. So
one of the best things you told me about that was you had a testimony as well at that point, and, you know, 3 tests. So when you think about it, yes, you want to go have a good time. You want to go listen to good gospel music. There's a purpose behind it, though.
Right.
And when people do feel free enough to just stand up and do that, because that's not always easy for people, it has to hit them. And when it does, man, does that feel good.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's something that even, you just don't get that even over like we had it at the middle school auditorium, you know. I think people felt a little bit more, you know, bound down or whatever. But last night, hey, it was just free and, like I said, well attended. So I was really encouraged about changing it from Saturday night to Friday night. Hopefully just continue to do that. And as we said, because it also was in conjunction with the livestock sale.
Yeah.
The band festival's going on Saturday night. So this lets all those folks that normally would attend that still be able to attend the gospel sing. But I know it's just going to take still yet, I think, maybe a few years to get them acclimated over, you know, and realizing that they could come.
It may take a couple years to get it, but, you know,
or
they'll come.
Or the performer you have already booked for next year might help too.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, so, well, we'll just go ahead and, since you already, you've already got
You
that.
don't have to. You
Yeah.
don't have to tell.
I was going to jump out there and say it, but I didn't
You don't have to tell if you don't
because
want
I'm
to.
excited about that.
Let's just say it's a really good performer.
Yeah, no, I'll just go ahead and tell everybody. Next year, we've already got him. Thought I had him scheduled this year. We do have him scheduled for next year. Michael Combs,
Man.
that was here last year, and everybody really likes. He's now who we had last night, Mike Upright, is really good. He's just kind of what I call a gentle giant.
Yes.
He sings nice and easy, great spirit about him. But Michael Combs, he's got a little bit of action about him.
He's got some voice to him. Let's just say
yeah,
that.
he got that too. So.
Well, David, we're very happy that went well for you guys on Friday night. We're encouraged by it. That's a good sign.
Yes.
Let's hope that continues to improve. You've still not done. You're singing tonight in Glenville.
Yeah, we're going to Glenville, but I don't want anybody to come over there. You stay here at the festival. We'll have the Glenville people over there. But
Yep.
He's
anyway,
never idle.
We're going.
Yes.
No, I don't stay still for very long. I
He
guess.
retired to get busy.
Yeah.
Listen, I wondered why he was wearing a tracksuit. Now I know.
Yeah, he retired so he could get busy.
So you're still busy tomorrow. Let's talk
Still
about
busy
that.
tomorrow. Yeah, got one more gospel sing for the Black Walnut Festival, and I'm encouraged about the weather tomorrow. I'm not seeing any percentage of rain tomorrow.
I think we're getting the best we can get here.
Yes. So
Got some sun trying to come out now.
Absolutely. So that was something I've told everybody pray about. So I think our prayers are going to be answered, but we're going to be set up right in front of the Roane County Courthouse here in Spencer. And we've got several groups of singers is going to be there. The Sincere Gospel Quartet. They're from just over in Gallipolis, Ohio. And Ron Chamberlain from Sissonsville, Tim McCoy from Hurricane, the Lee family from Spencer, and David and Sheila Bowen.
That begins at 1 p.m. on the courthouse lawn. Now, if something does change and the weather does get awkward, you do have a secondary place, right? Or did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my secondary place was going to be, I was just going to take it to my home church.
Okay.
Which is just there. It's the Spencer Tabernacle on Summit Street.
Yeah.
So
If necessary.
Yeah, but we're going to pray that we have no rain and we can keep it in front of the court. Because there's people that, they're mingling around here still.
Yeah.
The food booths are still open.
Yep.
And so people can come down here, get their food, mosey on over and listen to the gospel singing there in front of the courthouse. We'll encourage you to bring your lawn chairs
Absolutely.
tomorrow, and that will help you find a place to sit. They may have some picnic tables still set up,
Yeah.
but anyway, but
And
bring your lawn chair.
I'm sure that Ron Chamberlain is going to be fishing too.
He'll be a fishing probably. Gone fishing.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yep.
David Bowen, thank you for the consistent updates for this stuff. We love
Yes.
the energy, and we love that you love the passion for what you're doing, and it helps us get the word out too.
Yep. Well, we appreciate that, and if you'll continue to
We will
mention
continue.
that.
Yep,
take-
I've got it right here.
Okay. Take
Well,
that.
actually, I've got it. I had it out a little bit ago because I was talking
Yeah.
about it right there.
Oh, okay.
It's my
All right.
second thing on there on the list.
Good deal. we appreciate that, and we hope to have a big crowd over here in front of the courthouse tomorrow from 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock in front of the Roane County Courthouse.
Absolutely. David Bowen, always fun to talk with.
Oh, yeah.
Dave. Folks, we are sponsored this half hour by the Roane Jackson Tech Center. We were able to talk with Don Shepard. He had one of his students, or I guess not students, one of the students who was
Former
finishing up
Yeah.
cosmetology and doing some stuff. Thank you very much, Dave. And Don said, he was like, well, Don is high energy and quick thinking and quick talking. And he was telling us all about this stuff that was going on, and he almost let the cat out of the bag, and then he stopped himself and said, whoa, wait. I think I'm going to have to be quiet here because I got to give Ben Cummings the opportunity to speak on some of this stuff that he wants to talk about. And at the end of all this stuff we're going to talk about, Ben, you have a big announcement, and I have no idea what it is. I don't know if George has any idea what it is.
No, Don.
But I'm excited.
Don shut the door on it, and he didn't.
He would
let
not give
anything
us-
out of the bag.
Yeah, he would not give us anything. We were talking, of course, though, with Don about the things that are happening at Roane Jackson Technical Center, Ben, and it is so exciting. You guys have become so proactive trying to get the word out about what you all do. You're not just for students, you're for adults now. You've got a lot of programs. you're ever expanding, and you guys are doing big things at the Tech Center.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good year to start the school year this year, and we are doing some new stuff this year. And probably on the high school side, the newest thing we're doing is a program called Grow Your Own. It's actually sponsored by the West Virginia Department of Education, and we're operating on behalf of both county boards of education who have signed a memorandum with the state and with Glenville State University. And, we have a tremendous teacher shortage right now in West Virginia, so we're doing just about anything we can in the state to try to find some teachers. And we've operated an early childhood program for many years, again, with a focus on students that may want to go on and be elementary school teachers or perhaps aides in the public school system or work in some of the for-profit daycare facilities in the surrounding areas. But this is a little different in that the state's involved, and we've got an agreement with Glenville, and we have our first group of students in the morning session for both from Jackson and Roane County. And we have those students enrolled in the program, and we've taken a few of them up to Glenville and met some people. They're back there at the end of last school year in preparation for this. And what they're going to do is they're going to go through 2 courses this fall and in the fall term and 2 in the spring term. Both, they're going to get high school graduation credits for those 4 different courses, but they're also going to get 12 free college credits into the teacher education program at Glenville State University. And the state has agreed statewide with this program to underwrite the cost of that. So that's not costing those students or mom and dad or the counties here or the tech center or anything. We operate the program with one of our staff members on behalf of all those entities, and we think that's something that's probably going to grow and a very positive development for the community, and certainly with the lack of teachers, that we need to fill a lot of positions in West Virginia.
That's a very important thing right now, and it is a constant struggle in West Virginia. Right now, though, maybe worse than it's been in quite a while, just trying to get these people into the classrooms, get these teachers qualified, get them interested in doing this stuff and being in the classroom. So this is an alternate way of doing it. It's a very, really cool way of doing it when you talk about no cost. That's a big deal when it comes to schooling and things like that. The way that you guys are able to work with different entities, to work with the state, to work with Glenville State, that is a huge boost for the population, and hopefully people will take advantage of this.
Yeah, we think this thing will probably grow. It's in its infancy statewide, but obviously, Glenville State has had a reputation for many, many years of being a teacher preparation school. Many of the educators here in Roane and Jackson County got their start at Glenville State. We hope to feed their program to turn out folks that can go out here and go to work. We have between 1,000 and 2,000 vacancies right now in West Virginia public schools. I can't tell you exactly what that number is today, and that'll be out here in the next couple of weeks as they work on the school aid formula numbers. But it's a major problem. We've got a lot of folks coming back out of retirement and covering classrooms. We've got a lot of folks that we're picking up from all different walks of life. And, we've got an issue there that we've got to find a way to address, and hopefully this is one more tool in that toolbox, and it'll certainly benefit a lot of kids. And if you're a parent out there listening and, maybe your son or daughter enrolls in this program, there's nothing contractually that says that student has to go on and complete a major in education. I heard a legislator, somebody ask them that question, well, what happens, if a kid gets into this a year or 2 years and says, maybe I don't want to be a teacher, and they change their major to something else? And the response was, well, I guess we helped the West Virginia kid get a lot of free college credits.
Yes.
So, it's a win for everybody, and there's really not a lot of strings attached to it.
That's a really important deal there. And again, lots of times when you deal with federal and state funding, there are a lot of strings attached. We're talking with Ben Cummings with the Roane Jackson Tech Center, but a great program. And again, as he mentioned, in its infancy, if you guys have any questions, anything you want to know about that possible program, that teachers program, all you got to do is get online and go to West Virginia or Roane Jackson Tech Center WV. It's rjtcwv.com, or they can call you guys. What's the number again? I never remember for some reason.
Phone number's 304-372-7335.
7335. I knew there were sevens and fives in there. One thing that yesterday that Don Shepard was very happy to announce was that the holding pattern on the nursing program, because of a teacher shortage there, you finally found one of your own to come back and cover.
Yeah, we're very pleased. That looks like, barring any additional roadblocks, we're going to restart training nurses on January 2nd. Again, it's a teacher shortage issue. Unfortunately, that's a statewide issue. 3 different nurse training programs in West Virginia have been closed down this fall because they can't find qualified staff. And, part of that's healthcare wages versus education wages. But we're working on some of that, and looks like we're going to have maybe some partners step up and help us with some of that. But we do have one person. We're still in the process of hopefully hiring a second nursing instructor. So we do have a class that's just about full, and in fact, it may be a little past full to start in January. Tons of practical nursing jobs still out there. Lots of opportunity for folks that become practical nurses if they're really good at what they do and they're working for a facility that wants to invest in their future educationally, to go on with some of the bridge programs that are out there and take that LPN and move in about a year or year and a half right into an RN with some additional training. The Roan General here locally and Roan Jackson have been working with Kathy Frum, who's on the nursing staff at WVUP, to create a bridge program, and they've got that underway here using Roan General for some of those clinical sites, and I think that's going to be a positive development for the community and the people that live here, because a lot of that training will take place right here, and they don't have to drive to Parkersburg or Charleston or wherever to get those clinical hours. So we're excited that, we've had a practical nursing program for nearly 50 years, and to have to put a stop sign up was difficult, but when you have no one left to teach, they don't want me training nurses, so certainly we had to put the brakes on there for a little bit. But January 2nd, we plan to open for business again there.
Yeah, listen, rubbing dirt on it is not a medical
no.
For Ben Cummings. One of the other things, and I know you have a lot you want to discuss, but one of the other things we had to hit on again, last year at this time is when you guys came to us and you just rolled out this CDL program. And we talked with the two drivers that were going to be teaching the class. That has been obviously a tremendous success. It is hard to get into those. There's just 8 students each time, and you guys are rolling out drivers, and you are in discussion with companies who need drivers. And this is something that I know that you guys were excited about. Has it gone the way or even better than you expected?
Parts of it have gone real well, and then we've hit a few bumps here and there. But we are running classes. In fact, we started a brand new class this Monday on October the 16th. I don't know of anything out there that you can go through a 6 or 7 week training program, depending on which option you choose as a student, that you can leave and make the kind of money that these jobs are paying. And, we'd like to have a few more students. I mean, we're doing okay, but we'd like to fill those classes at 8. Sometimes we're not getting that accomplished for a lot of reasons. But, a lot of folks look at it, that's 6 weeks. And I know that's tough, but we have to operate under the regulations of the federal government on this, because that's a Federal Motor Carrier Act regulatory program. And we have to play by their rule book. So I don't get to make the rules. But, the other thing I want to point out to people is, it's short. It gets you out the door quickly. And if you'll contact a local workforce office, Workforce West Virginia, we have an office here in Spencer, we have an office in Ripley. Not all, but just about all the students that are coming through that program, Workforce is paying the bill.
Yeah.
So, the reason they're doing that is, the state has looked at in-demand occupations, places where we really, really need people to make funding decisions, and CDL is certainly one of those. There's a need for commercial drivers everywhere. If we had them, we could send 4 to work right here for companies in Spencer tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, that's the other thing. Some people look at truck driving and say, I don't want to go out on the road and be gone 3, 4, 5, 6 nights a week. But you don't have to be.
Yeah, that's not all that there is.
There's a lot of jobs in our region, not only here locally in the Spencer area. We've got a lot of oil and gas services companies in this part of the world, and just north of here, some of them have got offices up here on 50, and you report to work there, and those guys are doing very, very well. We've sent some students to work with a big drilling company, primarily in the Route 50 corridor, but they've got an office in Wood County, and those guys show up to work there. They've got full benefits, full retirement, and they're going to make about $60,000 the first year out. So, yeah. And that's after 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks of a program that you guys provide right here at the Roan Jackson Tech Center. We're speaking with Ben Cummings of the Roan Jackson Tech Center. Had a couple people comment in and said, so glad that you guys are expanding and Glenville State's trying to help with the more teachers. And also very happy to be hearing that they're re-kicking off the nursing program in January. So they're very happy about that. People are very excited about that. You have some other things that you want to talk about, and then I got to get the big I can't wait for this announcement.
The elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple things coming up. Thursday, October 26th, 2023, from 5 to 7 in the evening at the school. We're doing Tech or Treat again. It's a free activity for anyone that wants to come. Bring your kids. It's a very controlled environment that night. There'll be games. There'll be candy. There'll be all kinds of things for folks to do and to participate in, and you can come in, and hopefully we'll have enough parking for everyone, and we'll have some folks from Jackson County and Roane County Sheriff's Department to help us with that, and our students and staff. We've been doing this for a number of years. It's a big activity, and we'll have 1,000 to 2,000 people, depending on the weather that night, come out for that event, and it's just a nice, safe, controlled environment for those folks to come out and enjoy an evening with their kids. And we encourage folks to do that. We'll be doing a call out to remind everyone on the 2 county boards calling system for all the K through 8 kids that week on Monday, just to put that word out there. And if you're hungry, on November 1st, we're doing a big fundraiser. You can pre-order just by calling the school at 372-7335. We're doing a barbecue fundraiser. We've done this a couple times. Our target's to turn out about 1,000 meals through our Pro Start program, and staff and students jump in to do this. And all the profit we get from that, we use to support student youth organizations with Skills USA and Educators Rising. So those are two of the bigger things that are on the immediate horizons. October's a pretty busy month.
Yeah.
The other, I wanted to mention the other adult program. We won't be taking any more students in it until July, but cosmetology continues to do well. In fact, it's going extremely well this year. We had a nice group of folks come in this summer to get started on a new class, and we'll be taking some more students in July of 24. So if you have an interest in cosmetology, certainly contact the school, and we can get you started in the right direction with regard to that program as well.
One of the things that we were talking with Ms. McCune over here, she's getting ready to graduate that program. She was over at your all's booth over there. Let's talk about that real quick. The booth that you guys brought this year, once again, is multifaceted. You guys brought some things that the kids can play with. I don't mean just like play around with, but I mean you brought some stuff that people can interact with and show what you guys can do over there.
Yeah, we've been taking this booth out to different community events. We take it, it's our career connection trail is what we call it. And our primary purpose for that is to go out and work with all of our middle schools in the 2 counties, and those middle school students to kind of introduce them to some of the jobs and types of careers that are out there in technical fields. And we are set up here again right behind the courthouse at the Walnut Festival. We've got some Lincoln welding simulators with us. Yesterday we had lots of drones and robotic things going on. We've had some cosmetology things going on there as well. We did bring a new machine with us, maybe not necessarily new to us, but new to this particular event. We don't travel with it a lot because it costs so darn much, but we do have an excavator simulator by John Deere, and we incorporate that at the school into the carpentry training program. You know, a lot of those guys going out and going to work, it's nice if they know a little something about equipment.
Yeah.
And obviously we don't own an excavator. We do own a simulator from Deere, and gives a student an opportunity. You're sitting in a seat. It's a virtual piece there, and you kind of get the feel of the controls and how that works out there in the real world.
Don Shepard put me on that when I was at Tech or Treat last year. Epic failure. Epic failure.
You tore up a lot of
so
trucks.
bad at that, yes. I know what I'm good at now. I know what I'm not good at. But that is a neat piece of equipment,
It's a
though.
very neat piece.
So, what else do you have for us? I'm still waiting. We're talking with Ben Cummings, a director at the Roane Jackson Technical Center, and all that they are offering. And we couldn't even start to get into all that you guys offer. But there's some things that are coming up on the pike that you are very excited about.
Yeah, we've got some of you've seen a little bit on this, but just really pleased, very excited. Big announcement that we've been looking for a lot of money. Somebody asked me what my job was one time, and I said primarily procurement officer. I procure money, and then I procure things with money. Our school's a little different in that, we're operated by the 2 counties. We're a creation of actually the state of West Virginia, I liken our school to basically about 50 years ago, the state of West Virginia said to the people of Jackson and Roane County, here's a school, we're going to pay to build it, you all run it. And that's essentially what happened. So, the counties in our piece, they've got some operational expenditures. We still have to pay the electric bill and the gas bill just like everybody else, and certainly Jackson and Roane counties step up and do that. And our board's comprised of 2 folks from Roane, 2 from Jackson, and a gentleman from the State Department. But when it comes to capital improvements, the counties aren't on the hook for that. So if we put a roof on a building, we go find a way to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, we don't expand in great ways a whole lot very often because it takes millions of dollars to do things. But the stars kind of aligned this year, and we started working on this back really last February, and meeting with some architects and some engineers and looking at what might be available and some funding sources that were out there. And we submitted an application back in March to the School Building Authority for a pot of money that tech centers, multi-county tech centers can apply for. And we asked them to fund a new facility to the tune of $5.6 million. And we did some work with that, and we had some folks on our side, certainly our School Improvement Council, both county boards, along with the Administrative Council. And we really thank the School Building Authority for their visit, coming in there to help us out. And then we had some other folks help arrange a meeting or 2 for us with some staff members for the governor's office to kind of lay our case out for that. And Bob Ashley helped us open some doors in Charleston to meet with some key people. And the outgrowth of that is in June when the School Building Authority met. And this is the largest expansion of a multi-county center in decades. They awarded us $5.6 million.
Woo! Woo!
So,
$5.6 million for the facility.
yes. So we've started design phase with our architects, and we're getting ready to do some site survey work here, hopefully in the next 30 days, to find some underground utilities and map out kind of the area where the building's going to set. We have to do some core sampling because of those of you that have been around a long time will remember on the back end of the tech center property, there used to be a great big pond. Well, this building is going to sit primarily where that pond used to be. So we're sure there may be some surprises down below that we've got to account for with foundations. But, we're optimistic that this is going to start construction in hopefully in April, May of 24. We plan to bid it in January or February, and then we hope to occupy a brand new building in August of 25.
Oh my goodness. Well, when Don Shepard said it, I thought he was going to say you had another program coming out.
Yeah.
$5.6 million for capital improvements. You're building a new facility, a new building there at the Roane Jackson Tech Center. And you say you're looking to break ground maybe in April or May of 2024?
Yes, that's the plan.
Wow.
And, we're building a big shop building. It's about 10,000 square feet. It'll have 2 shops, 2 sets of classrooms, and tool storage, and a lot of overhead storage in one end. But, the primary focus of that is, we surveyed several years ago everybody from 5th grade up in both counties to kind of look at some different programs out there and what interest levels might be, looking at where jobs are, where there's need as far as types of jobs. And one area of that building will be for electrical technology.
Oh, yes.
So we will begin training electricians, and the goal of that is for students who are enrolled there to become eligible after 2 years, if they're a high school kid, to be able to sit for the West Virginia State Fire Marshal's journeyman test for licensure. And electricians go out there and make a very good living.
Yes.
And we have some schools in the state already doing this, where after a high school junior and senior, if they do the right things, if they show up for school, the fire marshal sets the standard on this. We don't. There's an attendance number. There's a drug test. There's a lot of other things that go into this, but if they're successful, at the end of that senior year, they're going to be able to sit for that state journeyman licensure test. And that's really that's the quickest way for anybody to become an electrician, licensed electrician. Let me rephrase that. A licensed electrician that I know of. And
Boy, that would have come in handy back when I was attempting that as an apprentice for a while. Yeah, 3 years of that, I couldn't last. This is amazing. This is amazing. $5.6 million for a brand new building there, 10,000 square foot. And the fact that you guys are talking about bringing in electrician, the ability to train future electricians is insanely cool.
The other side of the building is also another thing's going to be when we get this thing up and running.
Well, you couldn't have picked a better day and a better place to bring that out. Ben Cummings from the Roan Jackson Tech Center. That is the biggest news that I've heard. I thought the CDL class was big last year.
Exactly. This blows that out.
Hey,
of the
come
water.
back next year, do another one of these, please. If we come up with some more money, right?
Somebody asked me if I'd be around long enough to see all this take place, because I'm getting a little close to the end of this whole deal for me professionally. But I'll be here long enough to get that going, and hopefully it'll go well, and we'll be able to turn out some folks that are electricians and HVAC techs that can go out here and make a nice living and not have a ton of debt when they're finished, because this is all free, gratis, and for nothing. We do hope at some point, takes a few years sometimes to jump through these hoops, but we're going to have some space there, we anticipate, or we can incorporate some adults from the community as well.
Ben Cummings, thank you so much. Absolutely wonderful information, folks. We are rolling right along here. We're about an hour away from the Grand Parade. Yes, I've got people saying this is awesome. Hearts, hearts, hearts. $5.6 million for a 10,000 square foot facility at the Roan Jackson Tech Center that can house future electricians, future HVAC. Just amazing.
It's exciting.
Amazing.
Very exciting.
Ben Cummings, thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for having us.
Unbelievable stuff here, man. They're doing great things for us here.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna announce all the best stuff right here on WVRC. Thank you guys so much. We are into the 11 o'clock hour. We want to thank Roan Jackson Tech Center for their sponsorship of the last half hour. We're rolling right into the next half hour. We've got ourselves another candidate hanging around here. Yeah, look at that. He came over and he was hearing in when Ben Cummings was getting ready to tell you that big announcement. And
what an amazing, it's amazing.
Just unbelievable. Thank you very much, Ben Cummings. Josh Downey, candidate for 5th Circuit Judge. Did you just hear that announcement?
Well, I'm lucky because I get to be on that local school improvement council, so I don't want to bust your bubble, but I knew about that. So
come on.
But isn't that an announcement?
Wow.
What a big deal. Money.
What a great thing for the two communities.
I mean, this is, if you think about this, yes, I'm a candidate, and we'll talk about the campaign here in a moment, but look at what's went on in our community the past 2 or 3 years of construction between the Ruby Bradley Bridge.
Right.
We're getting a new Spencer Middle School. We're getting a $5 million project out at Votech. And then here in another year or so, it's going to be a lot easier to get to Votech because we have a huge bypass project that's 70 years in the making.
It's amazing.
So, I mean, it's a good, we talked the other day when I was able to be on with you for a half an hour, and we talked about having pride in our community and things that are happening, and that's just another example.
Exciting stuff, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I think about, and I talked about this maybe with you when you were with me first time. I said, well, other towns and other communities are slowly dying out somehow, some way. This place is continuing to build, not just survive, but build. And now it's contagious over in Calhoun County.
Yeah.
They're starting to see a resurgence. And we're seeing and I think the small town and small community pride that has always been felt it's almost got a little bit of an electric shock here, and things are starting to pick up again.
I agree that, we have this major, internet project going on, the fiber internet, and I think you have people in other parts of the country looking at our rural areas and saying, hey, I want this. I want this small town feel. And, I'm in the courtroom all the time, and we have attorneys coming from outside the area, and that's one of the things I hear over and over is how much they enjoy coming to Spencer and Roan County and, seeing the Main Street. We have these wonderful restaurants around our courthouse square, and it's happening in Grantsville, too.
Yeah.
You've got different groups doing different projects. You've got some nice restaurants there on the streets. So, it's a growing area.
Things are starting to pick up over in Calhoun. Like Drew said, the resurgence is happening. It's going to take some time, but it's going to come through.
And we know our partners over there in Jackson County, and Miss Rader over there, always on the sidewalk painting and stuff.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like you said, in Calhoun, you see it in their festivals.
Yeah.
Look at how the the wood festivals came back to in strength over the past few years ago, and the molasses festival
Wow,
a few
what
weeks
a-
ago. I
yeah.
mean, that's a
What about the molasses festival?
It's
I mean, this year, I mean, they took it to another level.
yeah. I mean, you've got, and this is wonderful. You have traffic
Yeah.
in a small community like
Yes.
Arnoldsburg, and and those folks over there are so proud of their communities too. So
And,
Great
Roan
thing.
General expanded over there, and so did Minnie Hamilton.
and Family Health Care's redid their building.
Yep.
I mean it's going on here.
It's a good time to be around here, Josh
Absolutely.
Downey.
Absolutely.
And again, we talk about all this stuff. You've got a lot of pride in this community. You've grown up here. And again, talking about Jackson, Calhoun, and Mason counties and Roane counties, these are the counties that you're wishing to serve, obviously, as Fifth Circuit judge. And I'm not even going to ask for that stupid district thing again. What was it again?
It's
Three?
Division 3.
Division
three.
Why don't I get
So-
division
so,
out?
Yeah, so we're asking for votes in all those counties, and then we have 3 judges, and the Division 3 has to be a resident from Roane or Calhoun County. So
Right.
that's how that breaks down. Andrew, I was blessed 16 years ago. I was 25 years old, and the citizens of Roane County have allowed me to be their prosecuting attorney, and at the end of this term will be 16 years. And I got thinking about that, and there's a plaque in there in the courthouse, and you can see all the prosecuting attorneys, and that's a big honor for me. 16 years will be probably tied for the longest serving in the history of Roane County.
Did you ever imagine in your
No.
wildest dreams that it would be a 16-year run?
No, I mean, who would have?
I mean,
Right.
it's a bold strategy as a 25-year-old to try to run for that.
Sure, and we were successful there, and the citizens of Roane County put their faith in me, and and I look at that plaque, and you see some of the names who were prosecuting attorneys and went on and became judges. People have so much respect for the George Scotts and the Tom Evans, and the Charles McCarty, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to follow that legacy that those men in the past have
Laid the groundwork
laid
for
the
it.
groundwork, and other attorneys that I have tons of respect for in the community, Orton Jones,
Yeah,
Orton Titus. I mean, those are the prosecuting attorneys in the history of Roane County. And, I want to I've tried 55, 60 criminal cases in my career. I've had the opportunity to go over to Calhoun County as a special prosecutor and be appointed by the courts as a special assistant in some serious cases over there, a murder case one time, a kidnapping case. I've had the opportunity to serve Jackson County as a special prosecuting attorney and a pretty bad sexual assault case years ago. So I want to take that experience that I've seen, you've seen about everything in the courtroom. I've seen people change their stories on the stand. I remember one time in a murder case, the defendant getting up and yelling at me in my closing, which I thought kind of helped. So try to get my point across, and the guys
Say
stands
thank you
up,
very much.
Yeah, he starts yelling at me. Well, were you there, Mr. Downey? And I said, well, no, Mr. Defendant, but you were. So that kind of helps.
Yeah.
So I've seen it, and that's what I'm getting at. And anybody that's been in the courtroom has those stories. But those are the experiences that I think a circuit judge needs.
Yeah.
I think those are the experiences that I can take to the bench and continue to make it stronger. And I've also seen changes.
Yes.
We have went from having 2 judges in our circuit to 3. We have these new programs like our drug court and family treatment court programs. Those drug court programs actually started all the way back in 2016 with the planning. And I remember going to the early drug court conferences and looking at that program and learning how it works and why it can be successful. And, we've had success in that program here in Roane County. People hear about that a lot. And then we expanded the family treatment court. And, I was proud to be a prosecutor involved in that. So, yeah, we're going around. Have my fellow citizens here in Roane County where I live. They put their faith in me a lot, and I'm asking folks in Calhoun, Jackson, and Mason to do that too.
We're talking with Josh Downey for Fifth Circuit judge, and this is your half hour of a sponsorship. And we had a chance to talk with you the last time, and you've had a couple days now to go through the festival. It's not as if you don't know what the festival is, been around it all your life. Is it different going through the festival as a candidate? Because, again, there are things that you need to do, and you want to go talk with as many people as possible. But you're not unknown here anyway, so people are going to come around and see you and talk to you anyway. Has it been fun for you to do it and try to not be a candidate, but still have to be a candidate?
Sure, I'm a people person. I love
Yeah.
talking to people, and I love being on the radio with you guys. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's I always appreciate everybody here I know in Roane County coming up, and they realize I've got my campaign hat on or my campaign shirt like I do now, and wishing me luck. And I've had a lot of support. That when Amy and I, and this was a decision Amy and I had to make together, and we didn't take it lightly, and we thought about it for a while, and what we also did is went and talked to those folks and here locally and people we know in Mason and Jackson County. And what do you think? That's part of the decision. And we felt like we had the support to do this now.
Yeah.
But as a prosecutor, your time is limited anyway. And what I mean by that, if you step into the role as judge, your day just got even longer.
Sure, yeah.
Because any case that comes before you, you've got to review that.
Right. And it is kind of funny. People have asked me that question too. Some of my good friends said, "My goodness, did you not think you were busy enough?" And I said,
"Yeah, exactly. That's what I was meaning by it."
But and George, the way I look at it, and that's a good question and a good point. But Roane County, and there's really this circuit because for a year or so before I was prosecutor, when I was a young attorney, had no idea what I was doing and learning the ropes, I learned in Jackson County.
Yeah.
And I was appointed to cases in Calhoun County back in the day when we had Judge Evans and Judge Nybert.
Yeah.
Obviously Roane County has blessed me, giving me these opportunities and growing up here. We know that. We all grew up in the area. And, allowed me to have this wonderful position as prosecuting attorney, which I've enjoyed and had the honor of being. And part of the decision of running for judge, it's going to come with extra responsibilities. Amy, I understand that. My family understands that. But when a community gives so much to you, you look for ways to give back to the community. So that was part of the decision into going into this.
It's almost, when you think about it, you're like, well, yes, it's longer hours. Yes, it's a harder job, but that's fine. That's what you're here for. That's what you've built these skills for. That's where you've been in different courtrooms. You've seen different judges. You've learned how judges certainly work, and I think you're developing your own strategy as what you would be as a Fifth Circuit judge.
Yeah, I think what you do is when you have the opportunity, like I said, I kind of went over some of the history I've had in Calhoun and Jackson counties. Of course, I've been appointed to cases in Mason County. I had to handle a murder case in Wood County a few years ago. And so, I've had the opportunity to see several different judges operate in the courtroom, and you pick up and you see this is what works. And I think you try to take the best of everything you see and put that together to help mold how you would want to run a courtroom. And, I know the one thing I know is as a judge, what the citizens of Calhoun, Mason, Jackson, Roane are going to get is someone who's going to apply the law, and it's going to treat everybody who comes in the courtroom the same. And one of the reputations I think I've built, I think I'm an aggressive prosecutor. I think I'm a strong prosecutor. I think our success and our record in the courtroom shows that. But I also understand that these are people on both sides.
Yeah.
And I have a wonderful relationship with our defense bar. I feel that they would tell you that. But, even the people who get in trouble are humans too, and humans make mistakes. And while there's consequences for things that we do sometimes, you still deserve to be respected in a courtroom and treated fairly.
Yes.
And I think that will be one of my goals every day if I am lucky enough to win this election that we're working hard for.
Well, you have been working very hard for it. You've been walking around a lot here. You've been in a lot of different festivals. You've been in some parades. Are you headed down to the major parade here today?
I am.
I feel bad about keeping you late.
Well, it's okay. I've been working out for a couple months to make that last jaunt down there.
Well, you were talking about working out. You work out all year long for the festival.
Exactly, because you've been hitting. I've been trying to spread the wealth of all these food. It's amazing. And then I went out. There was a Queens event last night for all the royalty, and there was more food there. And I was standing around some friends afterwards. I said, well, I guess we got to go down and eat again, right? So,
it is. I tell you, it's. I was telling somebody earlier, it's a pretty good trek from the Handy Mart parking lot all the way up the bypass and over through town. But it's going to be a fun day, and I'm so glad that I think the weather is probably going to hold out for the parade itself. That's the hope, at least, that you don't get rained on a bunch, or if any, and you'll get another opportunity, Josh, to just get that name out there and get people to see you, go talk to some people as you're making your way up the bypass and through town for sure.
Absolutely. You know, the rain, it was really perfect timing. And I've joked to a few people, said, well, the horses may have to gallop past Armistead, but I think we're going to be okay with the weather. So anybody who's trying to make that decision of, hey, do I want to stand out in the rain or not, I don't think you're going to have an issue.
Yeah.
I also want to, the wrestlers are out there selling those chairs this morning, and I think there was a little bit of a lull starting because, it was raining pretty good at about 8 o'clock. So I think they have some chairs available here on Main Street.
Yeah, I talked with Coach
Jarvis,
and he was saying, I said, how's it going? He's like, well, yeah, it's a little slow right now. I was like, man, it is already 9:30.
Right.
And if you're slow right now, be careful because it's going to get better. Where I told him, I said, I think it's going to clear up, guys. And so I bet you there's a bunch of people now, and they may be overrun trying to fed out these tickets that they've got for these chairs. They do have some available, though. So if you're waiting for the last minute, you got 45 minutes, folks, to get down to town and try to find one of those people selling those chairs. Otherwise, you're going to be standing room only. I've got a great vantage point for it, Josh. Now, year in and year out, you've been able to be up with me, but now you have to be in the parade.
Right, and I got laughing. And they said, one of these years, Andrew, maybe not an election year, we're going to do this like, we're going to wire up somebody like a football game.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to talk through the whole parade.
Through the whole parade.
Yeah. But, that I've been lucky. I've been in, I can remember being a little guy, whether it was, back in the day of the Spencer Wildcats.
Oh, yeah.
Football, even before we had the Little Raiders or school floats. And then, early on as a candidate the first times. And, it really is kind of an overwhelming feeling when you're in that grand parade. And the bypass has people lined up it, and that's fun. But man, when you make that turn at the stoplight at Wendy's and see Main Street lined up and all, it's
unbelievable.
It's really a fun experience, and it's election year, so you see some statewide candidates here. I've seen some of them this morning. I've seen Ryan Well, and Mac Warner's been here. I'm assuming J.B. McCuskey, and some of the other candidates are probably here today. And they always kind of shocked. They come to this little community and they come to this parade and they turn that corner and there's 15,000 people lining Main Street.
They're shocked about
where
that.
Where did that come from?
Exactly. So it's just a great festival, great parade. So really happy that I'm able to come here and be on the radio with you guys again and reach out to the voters. You give me a great opportunity, but just all the service you guys do, keeping people updated with that. So
absolutely. Well, Josh, I know that you are a busy man right now. We know that you got to get down there and get yourself set up for the Grand Parade. Josh Downey, 5th Circuit Judge, is what he is running for, and that is going to be in May. So you got a lot of work to do still here, buddy, right?
That's right. That's why we're hitting it hard now, because people are kind of saying, well, talking to me, I said, oh, no, this is a May election, so we'll know. And, you're kind of nervous about that, too. You got a lot of stuff to get in. But
a long road to hoe.
But I'm sure
right
all the candidates involved in these nonpartisan elections, I'm sure everybody, regardless of what happens, and will be ready for it. We'll need to rest a little bit. But we're going to work hard. Andrew, you talked about, you see them, I'm getting involved with the social media, and that was a little bit of a new thing for me. But, you got to do that, and I understand it. And, especially on the weekends, sometimes in the week, my job in prosecuting, and this is all prosecuting attorneys, you got to focus on your job. And that's one thing I want everybody to know, and I've been telling people, say, listen, yes, I'm a candidate, and yes, I'm running for this, and yes, I want your support. But right now, I'm Roane County prosecuting attorney, and I can guarantee you
business at hand.
And this campaign and these extra things are not going to affect that job. But that's just, I have duties that will be fulfilled, and I have a wonderful staff and everything, and it's business as usual in the court system. And when we're running court, I mean, we have a trial week next week, and we're preparing for several trials. But on the weekends, Friday night football games, if I'm not here in Roane County, boy, the boys put it on Braxton County last night. I went over and of course, the Roan Ripley game was great because
Yep.
I love everybody at that. And, made it over to Point Pleasant a few times. I think we talked about that. Did a little scouting.
Yeah, thank you. You did a
Yeah.
little Mingo Central scouting
Mingo
for us.
Central scouting to know what's going to go on there. So that's been fun. And we talked about the festivals, and you had the Mason County Fair earlier this year that I was able to go over there for a day and be in their parade.
Yeah.
So, that's a lot of fun, and just getting to meet people.
Yeah.
Just getting to meet
And that's
people.
just what you have to do. You have to get that name out there, meet people, let them know who you are, let them know your name, and let them know that you're going to be working hard for this Fifth Circuit.
That's
Well,
absolutely right.
The one thing that I would want people to know about Josh is he's very approachable. I mean, you can come to him and talk to him about anything.
Actually, he'll approach you.
Exactly.
Exactly. I saw that the other day when it was 7:30 in the morning, whatever it was. And I was impressed. I was driving in. I said, Andrew's already on the radio.
Yeah.
Talking about pancakes.
Yes, I was.
So.
And then he had to go depress me with talking about the Mountaineer game.
People have still brought that up.
And what do you think about that?
Oh, no. We
My
can't.
goodness, I still don't know if I've accepted it.
I haven't.
I haven't either.
And then
I was sitting there like,
knock the ball down.
Oh.
I'm sitting there like, what just happened in front of my eyes?
Well, Andrew and I talked about it a little bit the other day morning. When you're a Mountaineer fan, it's happened.
It's
where
it is.
So anyway, but
let's bring this down on a better note.
George, it's going to depress people.
Debbie Downer over here.
Yeah, exactly. I had to do it.
Hey,
I know how big of a fan Josh.
Here is an up note for you, Josh, to walk out and walk down to the festival parade on. The sun is starting to shine here in Spencer, West Virginia.
It's peeking out. It's going to be a good day. I see Adam Anderson walking this way, the voice of the Grand Parade.
Absolutely.
I got to call that with him last year, and unfortunately I can't. I'm a little busy.
A little busy doing
a little busy in that, but he's dressed up. He's in a suit. I'm assuming he should be drinking tea and honey and all those
yeah,
things.
He better
has
be.
no idea we're talking about him right now live on the radio.
Yeah.
Live and he should be on the screen now, really
close.
close.
His singing voice is in fiddle right now because he's going to have to be speaking for the next 2 hours.
Well, I think I don't know. I think I'm float 23. I don't know. Someone gave me the list, so I want to make sure his voice is very clear at that moment.
He's going to get real loud when he says it too. It's going to be awesome.
I got in trouble last year. I learned, when we called that parade, and I knew we weren't live over the street, but then someone told me later that we were live on the radio on your Facebook Live. And I won't mention any names, but a lot of people know my father-in-law, and I'll just leave it at that. And I may have joked about something about starting at the parade with a cannon, a big net from the Ruby Bradley Bridge about Roby, and I think the community thought it was really funny, and I'm really happy he wasn't listening at the time.
Yeah, very nice that he was not in on that.
But people.
That would be a good event for the 70th.
Oh, it is 70th next year. We can think about that. I mean, Evel Knievel or something, we can do that. But, I want to encourage people to come. I think we're going to have good weather.
Yep.
There's a lot of things to still come get your food. Go hit we have a lot of local crafters down there at the Army.
Yeah.
It's really set up nice. And let's not forget that livestock sale this evening. Those
Absolutely.
kids have been – hopefully those kids can get a break and come down here and enjoy the parade. But I know they've done their showmanship, and we've seen that on social media. Winning
We're
those
so
awards.
excited about that.
You're going live on it tonight.
Yeah.
So, stay and log into that and watch what these kids have accomplished with these animals. And hopefully they have – I know they will. Our community always gets behind that livestock sale when those kids do well. And, they do that for 8-10 years through high school, and man, the bank account those kids build up with that. It's really
a big
something.
deal. It's a big deal.
So
well, Josh Downey, we're going to let you head down to the lineup for the parade. Again, you're like number 23 or number 24?
Yeah, so somewhere right there. So, I'm lucky. Fortunately, I have my family's been down there. Amy's got that artistic feel, so I think the float's ready.
Yep.
So I just got to go there and shake hands. And
she's got you ready to go. Josh Downey, candidate for 5th Circuit Judge, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Keep up the hard work, and everybody enjoy the Black Walnut Festival and vote Josh Downey in 2024 for 2nd Judge.
Absolutely, folks. There it is. We are going to shut down here, and we're going to get ourselves moved over to Main Street. We're going to get ready to go, and we're going to cover the Grand Parade live on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to cut off of this stream, so make sure that when we pull up the next stream, you guys are finding it, sharing it, and get as many people to view it as humanly possible. We're live here from the 69th Annual West Virginia Black Walnut Festival.